The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
Sometimes when people order fries, they act like it's a little adventure. They'll be like, should we get a plate of fries for the table? Should we do it? Should we share some fries? They gotta make sure that everyone's on board with it. It's like, if I get fries, you'll have a couple, right? If I get fries for the table, I know you'll have fries if I get fries. Should we do it? Yeah, let's be bad. Come on, let's do it. All right, we're gonna take a plate of fries. It's like a group of couples agreeing to do ecstasy together.
I love fries. What I don't love is the way people behave around them. I've noticed the tendency for people to go like this. They go, can I steal a few fries? It's wrong. It's like, no. Excuse me. I had the courage when the waiter was here. When reputations were on the line, I spoke up for my desires. You did not have such courage.
I don't care what fast food I eat. If I order french fries, I have to eat every fry. Like, I get depressed if the fries start running out. Like, I reach in the bag, I'm like, I know there was more fries in this bag. Where's the rest of those fries? Then I move the napkin out the way and I find that one little burnt piece of crunchy fry. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, baby, right there.
Today is one of my favorite days. It's National French Fry Day.
All right.
French fried potatoes.
Let's start the show.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Assed Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Well, F me. National French Fry Day, Josh.
I'm a fan.
How's anyone going to get any damn work done on National French Fry Day?
It's going to be tough. A lot of places are having specials, and there's a bit of controversy over what day is French Fry Day. Is it today?
Oh, I don't know if I want to get wrapped
tomorrow?
up in this.
Yeah, this might be too of a hot button topic for us to get into.
Yeah, I don't like to get into the stuff that's really going to piss people off.
Right.
There's one side of folks who say that today is National French Fry Day, but there's a whole other side of society who says it's tomorrow.
It should be tomorrow, the second Friday in July.
Oh,
because it's a Friday.
Day. I'm following that gimmick.
I kind of go for that one.
Okay.
But why not celebrate both days?
Yeah, I don't discriminate. I'll eat fries on National Friday, Part 1, Part 2, or any other day of the year.
You're going to go with tomorrow. In your book, tomorrow is National.
Well, today seems to be the agreed upon one. And who am I to argue? But it seems it would make more sense to be on a Friday.
I think that Michael Sweet and Stryper once said, you are free to do what you want to, choose your own destiny.
They did.
So you can go ahead.
And they sang it beautifully.
They did.
Were they talking about French fries, do you think, in that song?
They were.
You're free to have that interpretation if you'd like. By the way, on the podcast, I know you're not hearing this, but for anybody listening live, this is what Dave Mustaine, of Megadeth, of course, may sound like singing Master of Puppets, famously kicked out of the band in 1983.
Is this some more of that creepy AI stuff?
Yeah, this is AI. To be very clear, this is not Dave Mustaine singing the song, but this is a YouTube channel called AI Playgrounds. Isn't it incredible? They got a young-sounding Dave Mustaine to sing Master of Puppets.
I can't even put it into words how bizarre this is. They can take samples of how he sounds. It's just unbelievable. I got to hear more of it now. It didn't dawn on me when you first started playing it.
I mean, you can hear the Dave Mustaine, right?
Mm-hmm. It sounds like Dave Mustaine's got his yapper up against a live microphone. Like you do right now, Josh, and I do, and the rest of us do. Boy, Dave had a cool sound back when he was young.
Yeah. I still like the way he sounds, but you're right, it is a little different. But, I mean, shoot, he's beat, throat cancer, and he's obviously a lot older now.
Oh, he beat a lot of things that most folks couldn't get past. Spending every day with Lars Ulrich, James Hetfield, and Kirk Hammett. He got past that. He survived that. Right, Wapple?
Yeah, he did do that.
I think he might.
Lars' stories, trying to sit through all of them.
Oh, man.
Dude, will you just stop talking?
He had to sit through Lars Ulrich stories for a couple years of his life. That stuff is so mind-blowing, Josh.
The scary one is the, people's voices, or I suppose the videos, too, these deep fake videos where if you're not really paying attention, you might be like, Wapple said what about this? I mean, even on the show, there's so many times there's inflammatory statements made by Wapple without Wapple even saying it. Usually something inflammatory is said and then followed by Wapple said.
The kid can't be controlled. My hands are tied. National French Fry Day. Okay, is it today? Is it tomorrow? We'll have to find some middle ground, but I imagine warehouse foremen and office managers just threw their arms up in disgust. They know that production's going to take a downturn today. National. We welcome you to the Half-Ass Morning Show. Thank you very much for listening. On National French Fry Day, our porn star friend Jordan Maxx will be paying us a visit today. Is Jordan Maxx still coming in?
Yep.
Around 8:20. She's looking forward to seeing me.
I'm sure she is.
She is.
I mean, I would hope she's looking forward to seeing all of us, but you'd be included in that.
I got to ask Dana a question.
Yeah.
Old Dick House over there.
Hey.
Where did you find this write-up? People on social media sharing what they think is overrated about Minnesota.
It was a Twitter thing that was kind of going for a couple days.
I loved it.
Did you?
And I'd love to get our listeners' take on this. Did you get a kick out of this, Josh?
Yeah. I like all this kind of ball-busting stuff.
I'd love to get our listeners' take on this. Our number is 651-989-9393. The subject is, folks got on Twitter, Dana says, and spit out what they think is overrated about Minnesota. That's a lot of fun. Go ahead, text us if you got an idea in mind. It's all right to admit that some distinctly Minnesota things are a little overrated, get on your nerves a little bit, you're tired of hearing about it, or you feel like these different experiences aren't as great as we make them out to be. Let me roll through what Twitter said. Cabins. You drive 4 hours to drink beer and grill in a different location. I can do that at home.
It's kind of true.
Cabins.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah, you can go, especially if you have a cabin on a lake.
Yeah, kind of an escape, too. Get away.
Yeah, but it's so much better when other people have cabins.
Right, yeah.
Well, I'm speaking as if I have experience, but I think about paying 2 mortgages, and then obviously maintaining 2 places. And a lot of times, I can tell you, my parents had a cabin for a short amount of time, and they loved it. Once they sold their house, they bought a small house, and then they bought this small cabin. And the first thing they do when they go up there, clean the place. My dad be outside mowing and doing all this kind of stuff. Now, I'm not complaining. It's great they had a cabin on a little lake. But at the same time, it seemed like they were working the whole time.
You are absolutely correct. Much like when you walked away from that violent porn when you were a 7th grader, you're absolutely right. That's the thing. Somebody else's cabin? Wonderful.
It's a great dream.
Your own? I don't think I would take a free cabin because of everything that Josh just said.
Boats, too. Owning a boat, it's so much better knowing someone that has a boat.
I'm a boat owner. I've been extremely lucky in the 14, 15 years, whatever, I've owned a boat. And I've got a nice setup. I'll explain that some other time, how I'm extremely lucky. So far, I have been in my boat ownership career. But you're 100% correct. I just talked to a friend of mine over the weekend who just bought a cabin up in, how do you call it? I think they say it, Bemidji.
Oh,
right?
Very nice.
Right? And he just bought it a month or 2 ago. He's been wanting a cabin he's 51, 2 years old. He's miserable because all he has done so far is work. It's a second mortgage. It's a second set of gutters to clean and a yard to upkeep.
It's hard enough just to work on one.
That's the number, absolutely. Someone else's cabin, beautiful. Your own, I wouldn't take a free one.
Yeah, I've got 1 money pit. I don't need 2. I mean, because I'm not going to be able to afford a, quote, turnkey cabin, so they were like, you just go in there and there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
My dad had a fishing shack for decades. He finally got too old for the gimmick. And, something it notes here in this article about what's overrated about Minnesota. They talk about driving 4 hours to drink beer and grill in a different location. I can do that at home. After a certain amount of time, when you get a little older, when we were 16, 20, 22, 3 even, didn't even occur to us that we were going to drive 5 hours, right? Who cares? I'll take an extra day off of work. I'll get up early. I'll stay up late. You get a little older, it's not that easy anymore. And that was when the old man finally walked away from that fishing shack. Part of the reason why my heart was not broken is no longer do I got to get in the car and drive 5 hours and then friggin' drive back 2 days later. You always had to take an extra day off of work. I would agree that cabins are overrated. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I hear what people are saying. And on the topic of boats, it's just like you hear, it's pretty mixed via text, but it seems like the majority are saying it is a lot rougher than I had expected. But what's the joke? The two greatest days of a boat owner is the day they buy it and the day they sell it.
Next on the list of things people think is overrated about Minnesota, Juicy Lucy's.
I agree with that one for sure.
Oh, I've
don't
heard
wanna
that
get-
from a lot of people.
That it's overrated?
Yeah, because they don't want to burn their mouth. And they don't want to wait.
I don't want to get kicked out of the state, but I've never had a Juicy Lucy.
I respect that about you.
I sure, and I'm not holding out. It's not like I'm saying I'm not going to jump on that.
This is a hill I'm going to die on.
I just haven't had one. But you know what I do love? Gosh, these are good. The cheese stuffed hot dogs. It's been a long time. I haven't had one since I was a kid.
Like a cheddar dog?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. My parents got them sometime as a kid.
Really? I only eat the ones with cheese in them.
Oh, yeah, well, you're a big cheese fan.
Yeah, true.
I just had a corn dog with cheese in it.
I didn't even know they made that.
That's
Yeah,
good
corn
looking.
dog, hot dog, cheese. Oh, it was so bomb.
You sure it wasn't an infected hot dog?
No, it wasn't. It said right on the stand, cheese hot dog, corn dog.
Here's the thing.
Cheese corn dog.
Here's the thing about Juicy Lucy's, and here's where they go with it. Burgers were just fine with cheese on top. Putting it in the middle doesn't enhance anything unless you love getting a cheese facial when you bite into it. Now, here's the thing about Juicy Lucy's, Josh. You're saying you don't want to get kicked out of the state. You've never had one. I think I've only had one.
Just one?
And here's the thing.
Did you have it at one of the two places that argue about who invented it?
I don't have any memory of where I ate it. Who are the two places that argue about who
Is
invented
it Matt's?
Matt's and 5'8".
Yeah, okay.
Okay, when was it invented?
Boy, I don't know.
Good question.
Okay, was it 100 years ago? Was it 30 years ago? See, this is where I'm going with this. Just the idea that Juicy Lucy's made this list as a traditional Minnesota thing that is, according to some, overrated, just the fact that it made the list is odd to me because I had never heard of a Juicy Lucy. I grew up in Minnesota with casseroles and everything, all the other traditional hot dish. Okay, right? I'd never heard of a Juicy Lucy, I bet, until I was in my 30s. Someone from out of town said to me, like, oh, Minnesotan, Juicy Lucy. I said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Really?
When did this tradition start is my question. I'd never heard of it.
I've kind of known about it all my life, I
Yeah,
guess.
same here.
I have
As a
two.
kid.
There you go. Interesting. You guys have, I'd never heard a lick about a Juicy Lucy until I was in my 30s.
I've had quite a few.
Yeah, I do. I love them just because cheese and meat just stuffed. And the Blue Door over here by our work.
Oh, that place is good.
Yeah, that place rules.
That's one of my favorite restaurants. They have so many different Juicy Lucy's. So good. They call them Bluesies.
They call them
It's cute.
what?
Bluesies.
Bluesies.
Because the Blue Door.
Right.
Sure.
They do have a blue door. Well, I haven't been there in a while, but
It'd be a
Yeah, they
letdown
do.
if they didn't.
I know. I agree.
Wow, who painted the door?
Unless it's a metaphor for something else. Like it's just a piece of crap garbage door that's, it's like, look how
Yeah.
sad that door is. Something like that.
Somebody or another says Target Field is overrated. It's a great ballpark, but we get so dang precious about it. I wasn't aware of that. I love Target Field, but I had no idea that there was this.
I didn't know it was revered.
I love it
or-
too, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
know people like it.
yeah.
A lot of people say, ooh, you got to go, like if you come here in the summertime, got to go to Target Field. I wonder if that's what they're talking about.
Like you're saying out-of-state people hear about Target Field?
Yeah, or like when they come here, like if you're from out of state and they're like, oh, you got to go check out a game at Target Field. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Kind of like the Mall of America.
Oh, that's next on the list, Wapple.
Oh,
The Mall
okay.
of America is overrated, crowded and full of tourists. You cannot pay me enough to go there.
I have fun there.
I love the Mall
I
of America.
actually I love it too.
The
I'm
last
right-
couple years, it's completely changed. It's so much fun.
It keeps getting better.
Yeah.
I'm right on board with all the rest of you. I didn't go to the Mall Plus America for 15 years or something, and then I went for the first time 3-4 years ago, and I loved it. It was clean. It was the food and the beer, and I just had a great time. I mean, again,
you know the one thing I never do at the Mall of America though is shop.
Oh, really? I shop there quite
I go
a bit.
for everything else. Like I don't like to shop. I don't like shopping first and foremost, but I've never bought clothes there. I've never done anything like that.
Now, getting to Bloomington is a bitch, but
You have to go at the right time.
Yeah, I'm not that learned, but I like that joint. And I ignored it for a long time, but I got no problem with the MOA.
One of my favorite traditions my friends and I do is we pick one Saturday in the winter when it's just cold and miserable, and we just go and make a day of it at the Mall of America, just going from, bar to bar, hopping on a ride, just taking it all in, and just, it's like a fun bar crawl.
I almost died on that SpongeBob ride.
I can imagine.
Boy, Nick, you're old enough to remember. The other guys not so much, but that fourth floor at the Mall of America in the late 90s, early 2000s, my goodness.
The stories you guys have told me, I kind of have like that fear of missing out, FOMO. Like, God, I wish I would have been 21 to be able to hang out down there.
It was like Met Center for a North Star game in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was lawless.
I mean, it was like New Orleans North.
Yeah.
I've never been to Mardi Gras, but what I picture that to be like Girls Gone Wild stuff.
You'd see couples up against the wall, the gal with her skirt up around her neck, and I'm talking about, and the guy's going for it with his... Anyway, Mall of America, I got nothing but good things to say about the Mall of America. This next individual who chimed in on the subject, what people think is overrated about Minnesota, this next individual starts their statement by saying, this is sacrilegious to say... And I would disagree right from the get-go. It's not sacrilegious to say that the Mighty Ducks movies are god-awful. I don't know why. I shouldn't say that. I do know why some Minnesotans are so sensitive about the Mighty Ducks, and that's because of hockey. We've got such a hard-on for hockey around here that you have to love everything hockey-related that ever has or will happen in the state of Minnesota. So that's why some people are sensitive when you criticize the Mighty Ducks. It's not sacrilegious. Those movies are garbage.
I think also, we like it when Minnesota's featured nationally or internationally or whatever, and you see some Minnesota locations. It's based on a Minnesota team. The first one I thought was okay.
A lot of folks whack off to that stuff.
I liked the first season of Game Changers.
Game Changers? Yeah.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks Game Changers on Disney Plus.
Other than Basil McRae and Mike Madonna's appearance in the first Mighty Ducks movie, it's unwatchable nonsense.
I think they're underrated.
I know you do.
They're underrated.
I don't think you could possibly rate them high enough.
That's hilarious.
I think I'd rather, what were we talking about earlier? Give me all the responsibilities of a new cabin before you make me sit through the Mighty Ducks series. Haggie's Pizza is fine, somebody says, but it's no different or better than any other frozen pizza.
Oh, shut up.
Big time disagree.
I'm a little ashamed. Again, I don't want to get kicked out of the state. I've never had Haggie's Pizza, but I have done this when somebody's, oh man, Haggie's, isn't it the greatest? I've pretended I've had it and said, dude,
That's probably a good call.
There is no better pizza. I felt ashamed that I never had it. I was put on the spot. Somebody assumed I had. Of course you're going to assume you had it. I haven't, but I did. I'm embarrassed that I just couldn't say, I'm sorry, I've actually never tried it.
Yeah. Man.
I'm going to get you a Haggie's, Josh.
Hey, I'll take one.
Yeah, I'm going to get you one.
Get him the one with all the meat.
And then I'll get Nick Bagel Bites. I still need to do that.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I think that'll be your new thing, Nick.
Yeah,
I'll
I really need to do
I'll
that.
eat a bucket of Bagel Bites if you put it in front of me. Haggie's Pizza is terrific.
Dive bar staple.
It is funny how it is revered. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, would you call it a cult thing or is it mass appeal?
Boy, I don't know.
Because the people that are into it are like you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely into it. I mean, they just think it's the best.
All I know is about every week I'll holler at a bartender at the American Legion in Wayzata. What do you got in the back for Haggie's?
Yep.
Almost every week.
I try not to, especially, as a guy a couple years away from 50, but not to, succumb to peer pressure. But there's been a few times as an adult where I have, and Haggie's is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, but there's plenty of other frozen pizzas that I enjoy just as much.
Yeah, I'm never going to turn down a frozen pizza, but I just think if you're going to name the Cadillac of frozen Zaws, it's Haggie's.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. They're terrific. But I can't say that it's, lights out far and away better than any other frozen pizza.
Right.
But I love it. Hell, I had a Red Baron the other night. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
What
I'm a
the hell?
fan of most of them. I don't know if I've ever had like one where I thought this is complete garbage. You know, it's like some are better than others, more than anything.
Oh, I can think of one. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Yeah, me too.
Is it one you had as a kid and then
No.
tried again as an adult?
No.
That's the closest I can think of.
I've never had bad pizza.
I'm right there with Josh.
I've only had one bad frozen pizza. If we're strictly talking about frozen pizzas, a number of years ago, my brother's kid was selling pizzas to raise money for his basketball team or something. You following that gimmick?
Yep.
And so my brother said, I signed you up for a dozen of these pizzas to benefit the kids' basketball team. And I said, hell yeah, I love frozen pizza. They were absolute dog feces.
No. Was it a brand? Like a name brand?
It was a local joint.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how bad it was.
That sucks.
Like you're saying, Ashley, you never had a bad pizza?
No.
I never thought I would have a... I ate half of one, threw the other 11 in the garbage.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah, like I was saying, there was this particular pizza that I would party with as a kid. I loved it. I loved it as a kid, and I tried it again as an adult. And I couldn't do it.
What are we talking about here?
This particular pizza,
I know what pizza,
that I used to
yeah.
party with as a kid, but I can't party with it anymore.
But I even called my brother when his kid sold me these donkey feces pizzas. I even called my brother, and it was funny because I felt kind of bad at first. I said, yeah, you know those pizzas that your kid sold me? And he interrupted me. He goes, yeah, they sucked.
At least he knew too.
Yeah.
Hey, that soup I got you was really good, though, right? When I can't remember if it was for my oldest hockey team or my stepdaughter's.
Oh, yeah. You got me
softball team.
I donated some money to the softball team or something. You gave me a big bag of
Yeah,
soup.
bunch of bags of soup. Now, actually, we asked you not to carry them.
Weren't they really bags of soup?
Yeah, huge bags of soup.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah, those were good.
We're rolling through a Twitter subject here. People throwing in what they think is overrated about Minnesota. Our fascination with hot dish. It's just a bunch of crap thrown into a pan and baked in the oven. Well,
True.
I love tater tot hot dish.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I mean, so I'll always take that side. The state fair is beyond overrated.
Oh, don't go there.
I
Says-
disagree with that, too.
It's a lot of work and money to get a damn chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, I love the state fair.
I hear
one
what
of-
you're saying. I mean, it can be stressful, especially if you're there with, like, your family or something like that. It's not cheap. Definitely
No.
not cheap. I mean, there's
Once again,
ways to...
though,
Go ahead.
I mean, it matters when you go. I usually map out like a chillier day or even like a rainy day. Because that's the best days to go.
To me, I don't think it matters when you go. I don't care if there's 3 million people there or 3. To me, it's a vibe. Mm-hmm. That's what I love most about the state fair is it's just a vibe. I love all the people wandering around, drinking, eating.
It's nostalgic for a lot of us.
Seeing the sights, seeing the animals. Absolutely. It's all of those things wrapped into one. I'll always love the state fair. Doing anything outside in the winter is noted here in this article of overrated things in Minnesota. Doing anything outside in the winter. I've come towards that line of thinking. When I was a younger guy, I loved to ice fish. When I was a young kid, we snowmobiled all the time. Nowadays, F that. I don't care about either one of them anymore.
I don't do as much outside. I don't like to do things outside, but I don't in the winter as much as I used to, simply because my wife refuses to leave the house in the winter.
Now that I'm an older person,
you get cold easy, though.
I get colder and colder every day of my life. I'm more easily made cold every day. I couldn't possibly care less about ice fishing or what was I saying a minute ago? Snowmobiling. Couldn't care less.
I've never done any of it.
You've never snowmobiled or
Never
ice
snowmobiled, never skied. Oh, I skied once, kind of. I've been on ice skates twice in my life. Just never been ice fishing. Just never appealed to me whatsoever.
I've been wanting to do another trip for snowmobiling. But I'm kind of wondering if I'm at the age now where I think, I should have just left it alone. I mean, the times that we've gone together, we had a blast.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Maybe it wouldn't be the same now. I don't know.
And I have great memories of when I was into snowmobiling and when I was into ice fishing. And I mean, hell, if a buddy called me in February and said, come on out to my fully heated ice castle with the bunks and the radio and the television, I'd probably say, hell yeah, and I'd have my lines rigged up in no time. But
some of those are nicer than my house.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Part of what steered me away from ice fishing is the work that goes involved in it. Pushing the friggin' because we didn't have one of these fancy schmancy collapsible this and that doubles as a camper. We had an old school fish house that we built in the garage. It was heavier than a bitch. Pushing it out on the ice, auging out the holes, firing up the sunflower. I got tired of the work involved. The cherry on a spoon thing. It's a big spoon with a big cherry. Who cares? Why does it get shown on TV for every sporting event when they come back from commercial? This is overrated things in the state of Minnesota. What is the cherry on a spoon thing? I don't even know.
The significance of it, you mean?
Yeah,
or just...
yeah. What's the significance
I guess
of it?
I don't know that.
It's just a work of art?
For the longest time, I thought it was at the airport. I didn't realize that it was it's just a couple miles from where I've lived for the last
same here.
20 years.
Dana, I always saw it on TV, and then when I moved to Minneapolis a year ago, I was like, oh, that's where it is.
That's where it is.
And I was like, okay, cool.
You're
saw
right,
that.
though.
I'm good.
Or whoever said that on Twitter, that they do. Any sporting event in Minnesota, they seem to show that.
Yeah, I don't get it. Wrapping up this topic. A couple more entries here into what's overrated about Minnesota. Maybe we can visit this later because we asked our listening audience to throw their 2 cents in. We got a lot of text messages coming in. I dig this topic. It's fun. Some individual said, Joe Mauer, how many playoff wins did that $9 billion Shut up.
Why do we have to do that to Joe Mauer?
That's all people, a lot of people around here, it's all they want to do is pick on Joe Mauer. He made so much money. He never hit any home runs. Shut up. He's one of the best baseball players that has ever played for the Minnesota Twins. Who do you think you are? The obsession with fall activities, somebody says, is overrated. And Josh loves the fall activity.
Fall colors.
Yeah, sure.
Josh loves
You're
fall
talking
colors.
like apple picking and traveling, like going to Red Wing and looking at the changing colors.
Haunted houses?
Haunted
probably on
houses,
there.
yeah.
Apple picking.
Love fall in Minnesota.
Getting pumpkins.
Yeah, carving the pumpkins.
Anybody want this large Haggis I just cooked up? Hey, Josh, you want it? Where's Josh? He's out apple picking. He's still never had a Haggis? No, he's apple picking.
Yeah, usually what you're doing with apple picking, depending on the time of season, is you're grabbing a couple off the tree, and then you're being stung, picking out stingers from all the bees, all the dead apples on the ground, the bees around you.
This last one cracks me up. Overrated. Things that are overrated about Minnesota. The craft beer scene. Yeah, we have a bunch of breweries that brew their own terrible beer. Who cares?
Is it bigger here than it is in other places?
I think so, yeah.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know, obviously, it doesn't seem as big as it used to be, although there is, every day you hear about a new brewery, so maybe it still is, but it seemed like we were really beaten over the head with craft brews a while ago.
I think we were kind of one state that kind of got into it first.
So, okay, maybe that's part of it.
That's fun. And again, maybe we can get back to this. Maybe Jordan Maxx. She's how do grown folks say it? She's a lifelong Minnesotan, isn't she?
Yes, she. As far as I know.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought that's what I thought.
That's just good. Good. And thank you for your texts. I'm going to scroll through them. Some of you are probably mad at me.
For what?
I don't know, because I holler and people don't like hollering at 6:11 in the morning. It's my problem. It's my fault. Sorry, I blew up. Here we go. We're going to kick things in a minute. We got to take a break. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Ready, Cubby?
As ready as I can be.
I hear you. You know, every time we Every time we get to talking about parrots on this here program, Josh has to talk me out of buying one.
Yeah, I don't think you'd enjoy owning a bird.
I've always thought fondly of the idea of having a filthy-mouthed, angry parrot in the house. Paired up with a cigarette-smoking alcoholic monkey who rides a tricycle.
That would be cool.
What about one of those surfing squirrels or something like that? Would you be interested?
That sounds fun, too. But when we get to talking about parrots, Josh always reminds me that parrots more or less just launch turds like a Pez dispenser with wings,
Well, a couple people I've known who have had birds, especially large birds, that's kind of how it went for them.
Just all turds all the time?
Yeah, you wouldn't like how much mess there is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my OCD would drive me crazy.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a fan. The one in particular, but a friend did have a cockatoo who could say the S word.
That's cool.
That was pretty much it. He didn't.
Outstanding.
Yeah, he could make kind of noises that sounds like he was trying to say something, but kind of like Wapple when he does a live read. Words are supposed to be there, but it's just sounds, kind of. That's kind of how this thing was, and it was expensive. I don't know what a parrot costs, but I bet it's not cheap. Didn't in Burnsville, when we used to do those bikini car washes at Hooters, wasn't there like a parrot store right in that parking lot?
God, I don't remember that.
Or maybe it was just a parrot themed. I thought that somebody sold parrots right there.
Just a specific store for parrots? That's pretty cool.
I thought that's what it was. I can't remember. Now, believe it or not, it was distracting. What was going on in that parking lot.
I bet.
Oh, my damn. Are we really going to maybe sit back and reminisce about the old Hooters bikini car washes we used to host?
Those were fun.
Holy balls. I had trouble breathing.
Yeah.
At times.
And we were about the same age, so it wasn't creepy. Now maybe it'd be a little more creepy.
Oh, okay.
With girls running around half our age.
Mm-hmm. In England, cops thought they had a screaming, dying woman on their hands, but instead it was a parrot just straight up hollering its ass off. They're noisy too, huh?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, never... Well, I guess I have been around one because the car wash by me had
the
one.
Egan Car Wash used to have one. They don't have it anymore, though.
Every friggin' car wash. Well, that would be an exaggeration. But there was a car wash in my neighborhood, too.
Was it Paradise?
Growing up, no.
No, a different one, huh?
No. There was a car wash in my neighborhood, too, it's closing now. It's closing now. It had been there for, 35 years. They had a bird in the joint, too. What was the connection with car?
Weird, what?
I mean, the Paradise one makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, this joint had nothing. That wasn't their vibe at all. It wasn't a tropical vibe or a paradise, but they had some big 3-foot dangerous-looking bird sitting in the damn...
Big sign saying, don't touch, don't feed.
Do you think the owner just owned it and then just brought it into work every day?
I have no idea, Wobble.
Kind of like a dog?
It's just his buddy.
I have no idea. A cat by the name of Steve Wood. He's 54. This was one of his birds that was screaming and screaming so badly that the cops had to show up. He talked about this in a video that he posted on social media. He said he was confused when the cops showed up at his house. Cops came screaming up his driveway. He answered the door. Well, first off, he said, I thought to myself, oh my damn, what have I done? Cops come ripping up his driveway. The cops said they had received a report of a screaming woman. But once they pulled up and got out the cop cars, it was obvious that it wasn't a screaming lady. It was the ridiculous squawking of one of his 22 pet parrots.
I've just had 3 police vehicles turn up at my house. I might be in a bit of trouble because a concerned neighbour has been passing by telling me that there's screaming coming from my house. A woman screaming for help. I'm sorry, mate. This is brilliant.
That kind of has the laugh of someone who might own 22 exotic birds.
That laugh kind of led me to believe the cops probably should have checked the basement for dead bodies. It's going to haunt my dreams.
That guy's wacky. But yeah, I think he might have to be a little different to own 22 stinking birds. He's got enough parrots to put together a full-on parrot football game. He's got 22 of them in the house. He said all of his parrots tend to be vocal in the morning and in the evening.
Oh. Little midday nap.
But one of the birds, 3-year-old Freddie, has been especially loud lately. He doesn't know why, but that's what got the cops on his ass.
A lot of those birds live a long time, too, Nick. You wouldn't appreciate that.
Oh, no. No, I can't have that. I want a bird that lives just through the summer. I do like that guy's laugh. He's having a good time.
Yeah, he's having a lot of fun.
I don't like that.
I dig it.
I kind of think towards the middle he realized, ooh, this is a weird laugh, and he gave up a little bit, but he finished fine.
Yeah. Stuck the landing.
Oh, what's happening now? I'm not sure where to go with this one because there are conflicting reports, as they say in the news industry. At first, folks in Alabama went ahead and said that 4 young people had died trying to be cool on TikTok by jumping off of moving boats. But now they're saying they can't be sure that TikTok had anything to do with it. But these people are still dead, which is a shame. Jumping off of a moving boat, that's not the smartest thing I've heard today.
No, bad things can happen.
That's for damn sure. So that's pretty much as far as I can go with that. So a cop or two down there in Alabama claimed it was a TikTok challenge that led to these people to die by jumping out a boat. But then they retracted those statements. TikTok, I believe, said there's no challenge going on over here involving jumping off of boats.
Sometimes people are just stupid. They don't need to be influenced by TikTok.
Yeah, but it's kind of lean towards the other way these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
We lose quite a few people a year because of social media challenges and stupid cell phones, don't we?
That's the impression I get.
And the people, too, that try to take selfies right near, like, the edge of a cliff or something and end up just peacing out.
Well, the fact that you have these landmarks that need to put up a sign saying, please don't take selfies. We don't want to squeegee you up off the bottom of that cliff.
What do you do for a living? I'm the cliff squeegee guy. It's been a rough last couple of years.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's a challenge, but regarding that Alabama story there, I did see on TikTok they had quite a few people jumping off boats.
Oh, they did?
They showed some videos, yeah. So they're just not ready to blame it on the TikTok challenge yet.
Jumping off a moving boat. Like I said a couple weeks ago. Man, we had it easy when we were kids, Josh. All we had to do to be cool was drink, smoke, get laid. Nowadays, what do I got to do to be cool? Be accepted by the hip? Throw myself off of a moving boat? Well, what the hell?
Might as well. I'm invincible.
What do I got to do? Swallow these Tide Pods? What do I got to do? Jump out of a moving dance? How about this? This is my favorite one. Dance while my car is traveling down the road?
Yeah, that didn't work. What was that called?
Ghost riding the whip?
No, I thought there was it was a name for a rapper or an artist.
I don't know.
Your car is moving down the highway. You
Yeah,
open
they get
the
out and
door.
dance.
You dance to the side of your car and then get back into your car. It's awesome, you guys.
I did get a lot of laughs out of the milk crate challenge.
Which one was that?
Fun.
That one was good.
Oh, they fell down awkwardly in the milk carton.
They hit their side on a corner too.
Oh,
The Drake challenge.
Drake challenge,
yeah.
okay.
Wapple, I gotta say, fine. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna join your side. I enjoyed watching the milk carton. What was it called again?
Milk crate challenge.
Milk crate challenge.
Yeah.
Those were fun.
Some SOB would get to the tippy top and then,
Just right on his spleen.
and everyone in the neighborhood's laughing their balls off. He's broken a rib.
Some of those falls. Remember the mom that was the mom? There's a famous mom, or infamous, I should say, for this. She climbed up a huge one, and everyone's like, "Hey, give it a try." She's apprehensive. I've never seen someone fall so hard in my life.
Look that up, will you? I kind of want to watch that.
I'm watching some right now. So good.
Is it a bigger lady? I mean, that was one of the more popular ones.
Oh, this is the bigger dude right here, the one that I'm watching.
It seemed like everyone picked on that one person in the neighborhood that could never turn down anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's that, every neighborhood has that person. Here, drink this, smoke this, try this. They'll do it, right?
Yep.
They would pick on that individual. They'd build a milk crate tower tall enough to kill you, and then invite him over. Hey, man, look at this. Look what we built. You got to try this. The guy's 66 years old. You know, he's got Crocs on, trying to walk on this.
I had a buddy that just could not turn down a challenge. I watched him scalp himself on a bike ramp once. That was pretty rough.
Did everybody also have that friend too that's like, oh, do you dare me to do it? Do you dare? No, I don't care. I'll do it. I swear, I'll do it. If you dare me, I'll do it.
I don't know if I had that buddy.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, but this guy was like, "Hey, if you give me $5, I'll do this." It was more like
that. Okay.
Well, I don't really care to see it for $5.
I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead, but I'm not gonna pay you.
Friggin' social media challenges. What's the matter with you? But if you want to make some more milk crate challenge videos, send them to Wapple and I.
Remember when they they started...
What are you doing? Are you watching those videos over there?
They are entertaining, aren't they?
There's just this big dude on the top one, and he's just swaying back and forth, and his eyes just get huge because he knows he's done.
At first, it seemed like they were charity-based. It was like the one where you poured water on your head. And
Ice bucket challenge.
Ice bucket challenge,
It was like for ALS?
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah. It has since changed. Now it's for social media infamy.
Hey, we were talking about parrots and talking birds, weren't we, Cubby?
We sure were.
Here's a listener who has, I don't know what this means, but they have a blue and gold macaw topaz bird. And it can say a couple of things. You want to know what it can say? Ashley, I bet you'll like this.
Definitely.
This listener's bird can say, "I'll have a beer."
Cute.
And you know what else it can say? "Let's order pizza."
Oh, perfect bird. That's all I would need.
Now, I'm not going to let you down. I believe I do have a dangerous, stupid-ass social media trend here for you. The people throwing themselves off of speeding boats, we don't know if we should directly associate that with TikTok or social media, I should say, but this is apparently legitimate, dangerous new social media thing, social media trend, I should say. It's a new tanning craze. Ooh, tanning. What could go wrong, right?
Never done it.
Man, we've touched on some things this morning that you've never done, and all of them have been equally interesting.
You guys are tanners? You like to lay out, do you?
I went tanning in high school.
I did it a couple times. I mean, tried to get tan, sure.
Gets so boring.
Well, you got to get yourself a Walkman or a...
Just whack it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then I get the whole body tanned.
One of our neighbors got in trouble when I was a kid for tanning his penis in the backyard.
Oh.
Well, wasn't even a kid. He was like 20.
Oh, man,
He
yeah.
was
That's
tanning.
not a kid.
He pulled his and tried to tan his penis. Josh, earlier you said you've never had a Juicy Lucy.
Nope.
We were talking Minnesota things earlier, if you're just tuning in. Never had a Heggie's Pizza.
Never once.
You've never smoked a big fat blunt.
Sold a lot of them, never used my own product.
And you've never tanned. You've never purposely laid out to get color.
No.
Oh, man. A couple times.
The closest I came is I was told to spray tan before we went to Jamaica. So I did the spray tan, and I don't know if that did anything for me.
Spray tanning, I did that a couple of times.
You did? Yeah. I don't know if it helped, but our promotions director at the time said, "You're going to die if you don't do something. You should go do a spray tan at least."
So, yeah, a handful of times I've purposely tried to get myself tan, and I had a direction I was going to go with this. Oh. I remember this very clearly because it was so painful. I mean, look at me, you guys. I'm a pale, I don't have
Very
a lot
fair
of
skin.
fair skin. The last day of school, I believe, when I was a senior in high school, went home. Hooray, it's the last day of school. I'm done with education. There was a big keg party that evening, and I wanted to improve my appearance. I was very pale. Here it is, the early part of June, and I was still so pale. I didn't go on spring break like the rich douchebags that I went to school with. So for whatever reason, Josh, I got the idea. I'm going to lay out before I go to this keg party. Get a little attention from the ladies. And I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. I had never laid out to tan in my life. I was 18 years old. And I laid on one of those wacky-ass lawn chairs that can fold all the way down. You see where I'm going? Mm-hmm. And I laid on my back for a while in a little pair of, like 1981 Freddie Mercury jean shorts. You just I could get I laid on my back for a while, laid on my stomach for a while, and it was the most miserable sunburn. I didn't put anything on. I didn't know.
You just cooked.
Didn't know what I was doing. So this was, okay, school ended at 2:30. The beer party started at 7 o'clock. I showed up for the beer party, and everyone said, dude, what have you been doing for the last 4 hours? You look like a herpy. It was horrible.
I try and get my wife to stop. She likes to go tan. Get out there and lay around and whatnot.
Well, on a dark note, it can be really, really bad.
Well, I think, somebody with my complexion, too,
Mm-hmm. One of the greatest, funniest, most wonderful people I've ever known in my lifetime died from cancer because of too many trips to the tanning bed, to the tanning this and that. Here's the social media thing that's happening. A number of social media types it's a new tanning hack, Josh.
I do like it when people call them hacks.
It's a hack.
Life hack.
Right. The trend involves pouring beer all over your skin, and then I guess you lay yourself out under the sun, and morons say it gives you, quote, the best tan ever.
I will have a carcinoma light, please.
And there's skin care and cancer experts all over town stepping up to say, don't do this.
Yeah, it seems like you're begging for something bad to happen.
Right.
Actually, didn't you say once that you used to put like something crazy on when you go to laying outside? Or am I completely dreaming?
When I was younger, I used to use like vegetable oil.
That's right.
Jesus balls.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but you smell delicious.
I learned, I think my mom mentioned it once that they used to do that like back in the day. Because like the tanning lotion didn't work that great.
Ashley just covers herself in vegetable oil and maybe some breadcrumbs. Gets out there and gets a nice deep fry.
It worked. I mean, it would take 10 minutes on both sides, and I was good.
You end up looking like Brother Love for you old school wrestling fans. I love you. All right, so don't cover yourself in beer and go lay out under the sun. What's wrong with you?
I mean, is there a safe way to do it to not get skin cancer? I guess I don't know.
I would say probably no, Josh.
Even if you use like
SPF
a good
500 or something?
Yeah.
Are you going to get a tan with SPF 500?
I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
I should go outdoors every once in a while, and I could have an answer for you.
I mean, when I go out on the boat, I put the 50 grit on my body, I go for the 50 grit stuff. I don't play games with that sun. All right. It's so disappointing to keep reading about dudes mangling their own Johnsons. We have to stop this. Why haven't we learned our lesson yet? And usually when a guy disintegrates his own pecker, it's to try and... It's one of two things, it seems to me, Josh. Either they're trying to get off like they've never gotten off afore, right?
Yep,
trying to
they're
achieve,
bored of normal masturbation.
Right, trying to achieve some kind of world-class orgasm. Or dudes will obliterate their dongs to try and supersize the poor thing. That obsession continues. So, I'm sorry to tell you that a German guy has upped and died at only 32 years old, trying to increase the size of his pee-pee.
That's too bad.
He effing injected his wiener with something called silicone oil, and then he died. Now, he didn't inject himself with whatever silicone con oil is. He didn't do that all by himself. He got a caterer to do it for him.
That's the most qualified person.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to ask his buddies, you know. He wanted to outsource it to somebody else.
It says here he had silicone oil injected into his dong by a catering worker posing as a medic. So this poor guy got scammed.
Oh, no.
The man alleged to have carried out this procedure, referred to here in the story as Torben, has no medical qualifications. So this guy got scammed. He answered an ad online for penis enlargement. And the other end of the line was this effing dude who wasn't qualified at all for that kind of thing. The dead guy received an injection to his penis and scrot bag at Torben's apartment. So, is it a medical building I got to show up? Or where's your office? Oh, no, it's the Oakview Apartments over here on 5th Street, room 6K.
I work from home.
Yeah, there's a sign on the door that says welcome. You'll know the place when you get here.
Let me just buzz you in real quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It caused the poor bastard who had the oil injected into his rig. He caught sepsis 7 months later, and then he checked out. And it wasn't pretty. It says here in the story he suffered.
Oh, no.
I had a friend who had sepsis, and it was really, really bad. She almost didn't make it.
Ooh, wee.
They said if she didn't get to the hospital when she did, she would have died.
Wow.
My friend just, he's going through that now. I'm not sure if he's still in the hospital, but it's been about like a week and a half. And he posted a picture of like what his leg looks like with the infection, and it was gnarly.
Gnarly, like his name was Charlie. Is his name Charlie?
No.
So, this all has gone to trial, and the derelict who shot the man's penis up with the oil is likely in maybe it would be fitting to say he's going to be in a pantload of trouble. But just this dead German is just one of lots of guys who are maiming themselves or getting maimed in the pursuit of a larger wiener. And I just I think we need to stop this once and for all, for God's sake.
I agree. I mean, my wife and I hate my penis.
Oh!
Just despise it.
I know you do.
But I would never do something like this. I'm too scared to do it. We hear too many of these stories.
Yeah.
You don't hear, there's not like any doctor that's been out there going, hey, we have nailed this. We got it.
Yeah.
We can hook you up.
They all say, hey,
too risky.
Here's the thing. I've got this procedure, but the drawbacks are this, and this. And there are plenty of guys who still say, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll take that chance.
They're that obsessed.
I mean, here's a guy, whenever they tell these horrible penis injury stories, they always throw in an extra at the end. German guy dies from oil injection into his dong. And then at the very end, they always say, and also don't forget about this guy, too. There was a guy in Utah who signed up for some hog enhancement. And when it was all over, he said it felt like a broom handle had been implanted into his now misshapen penis.
Oh, no. That's awful.
But it was no big deal to get it corrected. It only cost him $200,000.
$250,000. I mean, I guess to get it corrected is one thing, but I'm trying to think, like, let's say it was completely safe. They're like, hey, we can make you huge. You want to get to 4.5 inches? You want to get that big? You want to get ridiculous? We can make that happen. I wonder what a fair price for something like that would be.
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, if it's $200,000, that's elite. Your average person's not going to be able to do something like that.
Oh, I bet it would be up in that range.
Yeah, especially when they first perfect it.
Yeah. Because they know people will pay.
Can I put give me a bigger penis on GoFundMe?
We could try.
I think I'll probably get a lot of go F yourself comments.
This is cute. Someone just sent me a cartoon like you might see in the funny pages. And it's titled, Nobody is Happy with What They Have. There's a cartoon woman with small breasts, and she's thinking, I wish I had bigger boobs. There's a cartoon woman with massive cans, and she says, or she's thinking, I wish I had smaller boobs. Then there's a scrawny little whopple type sumbitch, and he's just got a little tic-tac in his pants, and he's thinking, I wish I had a bigger penis. And then finally, there's this big ripped hunk with what appears to be a rolled-up USA Today newspaper in his underwear, and he says, I wish I had a bigger penis.
Yeah, nobody's happy with what they got. You're right.
Well, the joke is every guy wants a bigger penis.
Yeah. All right. We're about out of time. There are other times you can be doing something mostly normal and find yourself all effed up. Normal, at least in comparison to getting your penis stabbed by a syringe filled with oil. A 10-year-old South Carolina kid had to go to the hospital after developing a potentially deadly condition from guzzling 6 bottles of water in an hour.
Ah, yeah, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, that can happen.
It's like
I didn't know that could happen.
Or something.
What's that?
You knew that could happen?
Yeah, there was a famous radio contest where a woman drank so much water. It was like you got to keep drinking water, and once you go to the bathroom, you're out of the challenge, and she drank so much water, she died.
Well, it was a wee for a wee.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm very familiar with that.
Okay. That changed radio.
Mm-hmm. But I thought what killed her is that she didn't pee.
Yes. But she died. I thought it was water toxicity because they had to continue drinking water.
Yeah.
They had to keep drinking the whole time. And then whoever broke the seal, they just whoever lasted the longest.
Well, by damn, this kid, Ray is the name that his folks hung on him. He was chugging down water while playing outside. His folks say they saw him grab a few bottles of water. He's running around playing outside with his friends. They didn't realize he drank 6 bottles in an hour. Suddenly, he couldn't control his head or arms. His motor functions were gone. He seemed like he was on drugs or drunk. And you're right, he had water intoxication. They made him pee, and they made him pee good. And they had to throw this and that into his body to regulate his blood. He kind of just came to and didn't even know what had happened to him.
Oh, wow.
He's fine. He's made a full recovery now. He's good to go. You had what?
I had heat exhaustion like 2-3 weeks ago, and one of the first questions someone had for me was like, well, have you been drinking water all day? I was like, yeah, duh, that's what you do when you're dehydrated.
Why do you gotta come off like that?
Yeah,
well,
really.
The guy was like, absolutely not. You're not, because you're not supposed to flush out your electrolytes, and I guess it's bad for you to be chugging as much water as I was.
You're in trouble. A man offers to help, and you dump a well, duh on him.
No, I didn't actually say that to him, but
You son of a bitch. I hear you.
Hey, learned person in the medical community. You're an idiot.
Are you okay? Well, duh.
First and foremost, how's that any of your business?
Right.
he was very concerned for me. It was nice.
Did we all have that buddy in grade school who tried to tell you that if you drank a 12-pack of pop, you'd be drunk?
No, never heard that.
I had a buddy run that by us in 4th grade. Hey, guys, you're not going to believe this. I went home last night, drank a 12-pack of pop, and I was totally wasted. And we were all thinking, oh, no, can we really get wasted by drinking that much? You can't.
We had the urban legend that if you sprayed the entire thing of Banaka in your mouth, that you get hammered.
Oh, yeah. Now, I've heard that before because there's a minuscule amount of alcohol in there.
Jesus criminy.
Or at least that's what they said.
That's what they said, yeah. That was the prevailing thought. So you just go...
It's almost like our parents should have been providing us liquor, right? You know what I mean?
Banaka, man, that was popular in middle school and high school.
Some guys had it in the front pocket, a little pop before they... I
haven't seen or thought about that in a long time.
It's still a thing.
Unbelievable.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Justin Bieber with a barrel, but foul! Caught by a fan, and that's your ball game! A laser beam from Justin Bieber! What a play by that young man! And the Nanners win 5-1!
And the entire team going out there to swarm the fan! That is why you bring your club to a ball game! Game ended by the fans! The Bananas win it 5-1!
Are you kidding me? Look at our hero tonight!
When I hear audio like that, Josh, and when I watch the video, I say to myself, Man, why can't the Savannah Bananas be the Blaine Bananas?
I know.
Not that anyone would ever want to go to Blaine for any reason.
Well, that would be a reason to get you there.
Maybe.
That's on my bucket list, is to see a Savannah Banana game.
Same.
The audio right there sounds like they got a new rule at the Savannah Bananas game. If you hit a ball into the stands and a fan catches a sumbitch, it's an out.
That's so cool.
And the Bananas won a game yesterday, day before, because the opposition fouled the ball into this. Well, this was actually a line drive into the left field seats. Dude catches it with his mitt. That's it. That's the final out. The game's over.
It's hilarious.
They haul the guy out onto the field to party with him like he was a member of the team.
So cool.
Love that video. Is that up on our website?
Yep.
Other than that, we'll get to everything else that's going on when Randy Shaver joins us in about a half hour. But without the Twins taking the field yet, there's not a hell of a lot to talk about. I can tell you this, fair or not, Josh, your outstanding goals against average as a knee hockey goalie, again, won you 0 ESPYs last night.
That's ridiculous.
That sucks. Sorry,
0.
Josh.
Not that you didn't earn it. I think you
I can't do the knee hockey anymore, though. I have to just kind of bend at
Crouch
the knees.
hockey?
Yeah, I can't do it.
He's too old now. Isn't that something? My cubby's too old to play knee hockey. Randy will join us in a half hour. Josh's news is next.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
That's like a family, because that's what our church is, a family. You would never think something so devastating would happen in that little circle of people.
A South Carolina youth pastor arrested for filming women in the shower is now facing additional charges after police said he set up cameras and recorded women getting ready at weddings on at least 2 occasions. 35-year-old Daniel Mayfield was arrested in May and charged with voyeurism after the shower incident. He was a youth pastor at the time of his arrest and accused of filming girls in a church bathroom. Warrants released on Tuesday reveal Mayfield was hired as a videographer at weddings, where police said he set up a camera to film bridesmaids changing and had some upskirt stuff.
I'm concerned about my wife and my daughters being on those cameras, because it's happened for the past year and a half or so, and I don't want that stuff surfacing.
As I was saying, according to the warrants, one of the cameras was set up near the floor to film up the women's dresses as they passed. He confessed the recordings and others like it were made for the purposes of sexual stimulation. He's now charged with 26 counts of voyeurism and 32 charges of first-degree exploitation in addition to other charges.
Gross.
What a pervert.
Yeah.
At a church. I think you're pretty safe
Of
there.
all places.
There are women that would probably let you film them shower. Get girls that'll give you permission.
There you go.
A 25-year-old Iowa man was arrested about 4:25 a.m. Sunday, July 2nd, on a charge of public intoxication after leaving a wedding reception. Yeah. The arrest stemmed from a report of a man lying in the middle of the road at an intersection. When they arrived, rescue personnel found the man still lying in the road and snoring. He woke up and said he was traveling from a wedding reception about 5 miles northwest of the location where he passed out. The resort is just like I said, a few miles from where they found him. There was no mention of a DUI, so presumably he passed out on his walk home. He said he had been drinking heavily at the wedding.
Man, that's a hell of a spot to be passed out right in the middle of a friggin' road.
Yeah, a spokesperson for the police department said they can't believe he didn't die.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was a highway, and he made it.
God dang.
An Indiana man is accused of trying to take a shower outside another person's home using her garden hose. Police were called just before sunrise Friday when an 80-year-old woman reported a man whom she believed to be nude trying to shower with her garden hose.
That's a chilly-ass shower right there.
Yeah, those can get cold, can't they? Upon arrival, officers found the man completely exposed below the waist, with no water running for his impromptu shower. The individual, 41-year-old Reuben Penn, explained he had sprayed himself with insect spray, but his skin started burning. so he stopped to try and shower himself off with the woman's hose. He's been charged with public indecency and was reportedly impaired by synthetic marijuana at the time of his arrest. Previously, in 2012, he was given a 10-year prison sentence for dealing cocaine. So he hasn't been out long.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.
A crash captured on Minnesota Department of Transportation cameras Monday in Coon Rapids shows a pickup driver striking another vehicle ahead of his zipper merge. It appears he wasn't happy with the person getting in front of him.
Here we go.
A driver's seen approaching on Highway 10 between Round Lake Boulevard and 7th Avenue when a pickup driver suddenly swerved to the left and slammed into the car, sending it partially into the median. The driver of the pickup truck is then seen stepping out of their vehicle following the crash and slamming his hood repeatedly. According to MnDOT, drivers who merge early instead of zipper merging can cause more headaches for others, and motorists are instead urged to use both lanes until reaching the defined merge area, then proceed to alternate into the open lane in a zipper fashion. Here's Minnesota State Trooper and 2005 Playgirl Centerfold of the Year, Eric Roski.
When traffic conditions are light and vehicles are traveling at highway speeds, it's best to merge as soon as safely possible. When traffic is congested, it's actually much safer for us to remain in our current lane until the point where traffic can take turns merging, which is indicated by the begin merge sign.
I've never heard him more animated than in that clip.
Some smooth music behind him there, too.
Yeah. He's pretty pumped right there.
Yeah. Honestly, why is he yelling at us like that?
You can just feel the passion.
Reports say the driver whose car was struck in the video appears to be zipper merging correctly before that incident.
But he's still somehow, he or she's still pissed off this dude in the pickup? Is that what you're saying?
No, yes.
They were doing it right, but still they angered Dinkus here, and he had to have a meltdown.
Well, the pickup driver needed to get somewhere, and I would argue that the crash, disabling of his vehicle, and then waiting for the cops and all that got in the way of him getting to where he wanted to be at the time he wanted to be there.
A little bit of a setback, you're saying.
And it looked to me, I didn't see it in the story, but it looked to me like the pickup, when it bounced off the car it hit, whether it was on purpose or not, sure looked like it was, hit another vehicle.
Yep, it did.
So I couldn't tell if it just hit that vehicle or that vehicle pulled over, because they were right there. I don't know. Yeah, that's on 93x.com, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There's nothing I love more, you know that, Josh, than an adult having a childlike meltdown.
Well, maybe there's something to the story we don't know yet, but it did appear that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
According to the Minnesota State Patrol, an investigation remains open on the incident. In related news, the Minnesota State Patrol is cracking down on dangerous driving behaviors this week with the help of troopers stationed on board an unmarked bus. The three key things they're looking for are speed, distraction, and lack of seatbelt use. The enforcement detail is part of Operation Safe Driver, a campaign taking place across the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
They're putting troopers and cops on buses to keep an eye on us?
Yep.
Boy, I bet that's fun for them. You bring a lunchbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that. I mean, they'll show that certain departments will do that too. Just load up in a city bus or a school bus or a bang bus, whatever they've got, get out there and bus folks.
That's when you get one of those big kick drums full of cheese balls that they sell at Target,
I love those.
And just fire those down while working on the bus.
Maybe a cooler full of Coca-Colas or something like that as they're hanging out together. A Plain City, Ohio man accused of leading police on a chase at speeds over 100 miles per hour also threatened to eat his wife's liver. Police, responding to a report of a man who had a gun around his neck, tried to pull over a car that 54-year-old Andrew Morris was driving, but he refused to stop and led them on a chase of speeds of up to 105 miles per hour. Officers used stop sticks to bring the chase to a halt. Report said Morris smelled like alcohol. He had 5 guns, some knives, and ammunition found in his car. Reports also say he threatened to cut out his wife's liver and, quote, eat it while she dies.
My damn.
Morris was sentenced on Tuesday to 4 years and 11 months in prison. Now that's starving to go that far. A man found himself back behind bars just moments after he was sentenced for speeding in northeast Nebraska. About 11 a.m. Tuesday, a Stanton County deputy pulled over a motorcycle driven by a 20-year-old Lincoln man for going 106 in a 70. That'll attract attention.
Yeah.
The deputy found the motorcyclist, who had a revoked driver's license, just left the courthouse after being sentenced and fined for driving under suspension and speeding. Now the motorcyclist is facing new charges, including speeding once again, driving under suspension once again, and careless driving.
Dang. Bet he looked cool going 106, though.
I bet it'd be fun. An Ontario driver's been charged and his car impounded after posting a video to social media showing himself driving nearly 90 miles an hour above the speed limit. He boned himself. Police say they were made aware of a viral video circulating last month in which a 22-year-old man driving a 2022 Corvette, was racing a green motorcycle. He reached speeds of 140 miles per hour in a 50. With the help of the video, officers were easily able to identify that driver and his car. He was arrested and charged with 7 offenses, including stunt driving, racing, and dangerous operation of a vehicle. Police also suspended his license and impounded his Corvette. Investigators were asking anyone who could identify the motorcyclist who has information or dash cam video to contact them as well.
My reflexes aren't built for 140 miles an hour. Anyone else?
No.
Maybe not anymore. No.
Anywhere like
Maybe when I was a younger
Oh, I don't even.
over like 100. No.
I don't think my reflexes can keep up with that. That's why I quit beer league hockey. I mean, other than the 1,000 points, but I had to quit because pucks would go flying by my face, and I'd say, "When the hell did that get shot at me?" I mean, I didn't even see that one get shot, and it flew right by my face. Reflexes.
When you're driving drunk with a car full of drugs, illegal fireworks, and a firearm, it's best not to drive erratically and over double the speed limit. But that's just what a Las Vegas man did, and now he's paying the price. July 8th, 11:13 p.m., plainclothes Metro officers were driving when they saw a black Mercedes going at a high rate of speed while swerving in and out of traffic. Police said the Mercedes was driving at a 96 miles per hour in a 45. It nearly crashed into several cars several times as it was swerving through the lanes. The plainclothes officers pulled the Mercedes over and noticed the driver had bloodshot, droopy eyes and was slow to react. An officer found a loaded handgun in the front seat, a large collection of illegal fireworks in the trunk, and numerous THC pens, marijuana cigarettes, and jars with marijuana residue in the center console.
A little bit everything.
The man was placed under arrest and is facing several charges. I got a lot of stuff in here I can get in trouble for. Might as well drive like a moron. Federal agents have arrested a man accused of trafficking tens of thousands of dollars of methamphetamine into New Hampshire by taking an Uber. According to court documents, the suspect allegedly delivered 25 pounds of crystal meth Monday to an undercover agent. The U.S. Attorney's Office said the 23-year-old took an Uber from Massachusetts.
Court documents allege that Sanchez Zunbez delivered 25 pounds of crystal methamphetamine to what was actually an undercover law enforcement agent on Monday in Rochester. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Sanchez Zunbez took an Uber from Massachusetts to traffic the packages in exchange for $58,000 in cash.
Officials said it's the largest seizure of meth in state history.
That's got to be enough meth for everybody in New Hampshire.
I would think so. Boy, and you'd think if you're trafficking, maybe that was his first day on the job, but you might be able to afford a car or something, or rent a car, taking an Uber. Authorities in California are apologizing after a program meant to deter crime and improve public safety instead pissed off neighbors. Last week, Santa Monica police installed traffic signals that play classical music as part of a broader citywide initiative. Residents complained, saying the music was too loud and made sleeping difficult. On Facebook yesterday, police blamed a glitch. The cameras were installed Thursday, and the volume was set to an acceptable level. But unfortunately, the software glitched Tuesday, and the resulting volume went to the highest level possible. We truly do apologize to all those impacted, the department said. That music has now been turned off.
I'm sorry, the music was cranking out of what?
Some street lights. They put some speakers on the street lights.
Of course they did.
All right.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, not traffic signals, not street lights. But I haven't been downtown in a long time. Do they still do that? Play classical music at bar close?
I have no idea.
I haven't seen bar close in a few years, man.
That's cool. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, I'm probably talking 20 years ago. Oh, well, no, less than that.
I never experienced that. So as a means to let everyone know it's time to go and also to keep you calm, is that the idea behind it?
Just to get people out of the... Yeah, I don't know everything, but I was told it's just to get people out of there. It was really loud classical music. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Maybe they still don't.
All right, yeah, I never... all I can think of is for a stretch of time there, Josh, At the end of the night, there were some bars around here that would play that song that went, closing time.
Boy, that was a thing.
I got so
wonder if that's
friggin' sick of that song.
Like you, Dana, I haven't been around a bar close in a long time. Shoot, we wake up an hour after bar close.
Right.
Yeah, so. Today on Max, the sci-fi thriller Gray Matter about a 16-year-old who longs for a normal life but must first learn to control her psychic powers. Also on Max, Full Circle, a limited series about a botched kidnapping that exposes long-held secrets between a rich New York family and a Guyanese gang. The cast includes Claire Danes and Timothy Oliphant. On FX, What We Do in the Shadows Season 5 premieres today. Anybody watching this?
No.
I've heard it's very
Never
funny.
saw it.
And I heard Season 4, the last season, was its best season. I got to get into it. Then tonight, the series finale of The Blacklist on NBC. The voice of SpongeBob SquarePants, Tom Kenny, is 61 today.
Boy, I bet he's got a few bucks laying around, by God. I bet he does.
Oh, I'd imagine he could pay all the bills, and
The
he's not
voice
paycheck to
of-
paycheck.
He's doing okay.
SpongeBob.
In 2000, he used his helicopter to save a 20-year-old woman stranded on a mountain. A year later, he rescued a 13-year-old hiker. The star of the new Indiana Jones movie, Harrison Ford, is 81 today. By the way, the woman he rescued in 2000 got sick after her rescue and said, "I can't believe I barfed in Harrison Ford's helicopter." She sure did. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, 83 today. Happy 33rd to Wait Gonna Kill Me Jesus. Ramtucky Sheezus sent in a happy birthday to her hot-ass husband, conspiracy theorist Jesus, born in the summer of love, 1969, and aged to perfection, she said. Happy 30th to Jim 365 Jesus and Used Car Shopping Sucks Jesus. Text in a happy birthday to his best friend, Screen Printing Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
Got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I was kind of thinking for a while, how do I tell him that his shirt is all over the internet? Somebody ended up texting him one of the memes. I actually thought the comments were so funny.
You know, when people say, boy, Kirk Cousins must be drowning in Kohl's cash, it just had me laughing.
Hey, Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
What's going on, man?
Boy, Dana's getting a lot of pub, isn't he?
Oh, man. We've been blown up with texts since Quarterback on Netflix debuted yesterday. Kirk Cousins a part of that. And they reference Dana's text. They show it on the screen. There was a couple, or tweet.
Yeah.
There was a couple funny tweets that made it, but they did highlight yours.
Yeah, I didn't think this would be a big deal. They asked if they could use it, and I said, yeah, go ahead. And they had me sign some form, and I was just kind of forgotten about it until it came out. And yeah, my phone was blowing up a little bit yesterday with people reaching out, like people I hadn't heard from a while, which was actually kind of cool, you know?
I gotta say, I love Kirk Cousins after watching.
That's what everybody is saying, yeah.
I thought, there's probably more to the guy than what we see. He's not just a dad joke. He is a dad joke. When he burned his favorite shirt while having a bonfire, it was perfect.
I guess it's a camping
But I should
sweatshirt
say,
now.
he didn't burn it on purpose. He accidentally burned it. I should point that out. He's got a hole in there, and he is like just a normal dude.
Sounds like you guys are enjoying this new program called Quarterback.
Well, it's okay. It's not as good as I'd hoped. I'll tell you that much. And it has nothing to do with Cousins. Usually when you watch, even if you're not interested necessarily in the team or the topic, these documentarians do such a good job. It wasn't quite the same with this. At least I didn't think so.
How many episodes did you get through?
Well, I watched the first one in full, and then I watched two more, but I just forwarded to the Cousins parts.
Is this a situation where you can watch every damn one of them in one day if you want to?
Yeah, there's 8 in total. You could watch them all. But so I got through the Cousins parts of the second and third one, and boy, is he a likable guy.
That's what everybody keeps saying. They said, he's now my new favorite player.
Yeah, he's
I can't wait for him to leave town. Randy, I remember when we brought this up, you were adamant that there's no way you would watch this program, Quarterback.
I'm still not interested.
Okay. And it's, how do you find it? HBO? What is it?
Netflix.
Quarterback starring Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Marcus Mariota. But so far, you're kind of bored, huh?
It's okay.
Maybe it'll pick up.
Yeah, I got to give it another chance maybe, but I really do like watching Kirk Cousins and his family. He's got a nice family, and yeah, he's an interesting guy.
Kind of starting to dislike Pat Mahomes.
Starting.
Starting?
Where you been, man?
Welcome to the club.
I've always hated his wife, but yeah, I mean,
I've always hated his wife.
Yeah, just watching him with what was it, Crosby? It's like, wow, dude, you're kind of a douche.
I don't know what that means. Watching him with Crosby.
He got in like a scuffle with the Oakland Raiders guy.
Okay.
Max Crosby.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he was just trying to act all tough. And
Well,
be
here's the
tough
thing
in
with
his-
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it was just ugh.
It's just burnout. He's a nice kid.
Yep.
I don't think there's any question about that. It's
And
just
he's a great player.
He's just overexposed. You know, right? Will we all agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, so that's the thing. I've always hated his wife.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
I
Don't you hate
only
Perry's wife?
watched the full first episode. That's the only one I watched in full, and she wasn't in it a lot, but she came across better than I had thought she would.
I kind of thought she was glory seeking a little bit.
In the first one?
Yeah, because it's like, it's about quarterback. Like, why are you in this? You know?
Well, it's about their lives. So.
Yeah, it's they take you from the huddle to their home.
Come on, Wapple.
I hear what you're saying, and you're not alone. Plenty of people text in and said they no longer like Patrick Mahomes and they can't stand the wife.
She does like to make things about her.
She's made a name for herself on social media, right?
Her and his brother.
She
for
likes to
better or
start
worse.
trouble on social media, and I guess I've seen some videos over the years where she kind of has this na type attitude at live ball games. Like she'll taunt the opposing team. I should say she'll taunt the opposing team's fans as if she just ran a 65-yard touchdown. When I get all that. That's what I've heard.
They do. The family does at times come across like his successes really are their success. Somehow they were personally responsible for it. As if they were out on the field, either calling plays or, blocking really well to keep them in the pocket.
Well, Randy Shaver, if there could be a series made about 3 athletes that you would take an interest in, can you? And then take your time. Let's stick with current athletes. 3 current athletes, if they were thrown into a documentary style thing that you would take an interest in. I can come back to you. Let
me think about it. I'm not really sure that there's anybody out there that I would find that Show High I would find interesting.
Oh yeah,
I would love to learn about his past and
me too. That's a good one.
How he became the great player that he is, because what he's doing right now is extraordinary. It's just.
And he does come off like a really nice kid. Wapple can't stand his girlfriend.
What about Justin Tucker? I bet he's fun to hang out with. The punter, the up dog guy.
Kicker.
Oh, yeah, kicker. Yeah,
kicker for Baltimore,
yeah.
long time. Yeah, he seems like that's a good one, too. Of course, Wapple and I could rattle off some wrestlers for you, but
sure.
Keep whenever you think of another one. Shohei's a great answer. I'd like to hear his whole story. I don't know anything about his past.
Yeah.
Nothing. Well, since we were talking about old Vikings and one that I can't wait to be an ex-Viking.
I was just going to say, to be honest, I think Anthony Edwards would be interesting.
That's a great one.
Anthony Edwards,
I'd like to know a
Shohei.
little bit more about his past, too.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly, would you watch that, Nick?
Oh, dude, yes. That's a great trio right there. That is Shohei, Pat Bev, and A1 from The Love of God Day One. Yeah. Let's have them all live in a house together like they used to do on MTV. You know what I mean? And then throw, I don't know...
Put Dennis Rodman in with him. See what happens.
No.
Yeah, there's enough Dennis Rodman documentary, or maybe not documentaries, but TV programming out there.
See who comes out alive.
Yeah, you need someone to kind of stir the pot a little bit. Get some drama going.
Yeah.
That's Dennis Rodman. I just feel like we've given him enough attention.
Draymond Green.
Not a chance in hell.
Welcome to the house.
No.
A lot of people are saying Patrick Mahomes' voice just gets to be too much for them, watching him on TV, that much time on TV.
I can see that. Yeah.
But I can't imagine, watching Dennis Rodman, listening to him talk for an extended period of time, that's tough too.
Well, it's like
you want to wipe your face off There's so much stuff going on in his mouth.
Why does he have so much fluid?
I don't know.
In his nose and throat at all times,
You almost
Dennis.
want to clear your throat the whole
He just
time
has
he's
a
talking.
permanent little touch of the flu, Dennis. Did you see what he did recently to try to get our attention again?
With the tattoo?
He tattooed Randy Shaver, Dennis
His
Rodman.
girlfriend. I
yes,
saw this.
who is now, 57, 8 years old. He tattooed his girlfriend's face on his face.
Yes.
Very large. Yep.
It covers the whole right side of his face.
I'd like to tattoo my entire face with Jimmy Garoppolo's face. See if I can be a little more successful in the looks department.
That would be interesting.
Almost like a face-off
Exactly.
situation.
I love that Show High, A1, and Pat Bev idea. And let's have, just for me and Wapple's sake, let's have Don Callis be the father of the house or something, as they all live. Don Callis, AEW character.
Oh, I know he's got his own reality show, but I'd say The Miz. I'd watch him in anything. The Miz is so entertaining.
He is he's so charismatic. And
I
fun.
hate his wife.
You love his wife. We all love his wife.
Maurice is unbelievable. Speaking of Vikings, I had no idea this was a thing, Randy Shaver. Maybe this is news to you, too. Kyle Rudolph, who got his start here on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Nobody cared about Kyle Rudolph before he came to our radio program years ago. He's now going to be calling football games, Big Ten football games.
Oh, he's going to be like in the booth.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's
good for
pretty
him.
And here's something I didn't...
He's still living here in Minnesota.
I haven't followed Kyle in a while.
He just wrapped up his football camp.
Football camp?
Yeah, just yesterday.
Oh, cool.
He was calling USFL games.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
No, I watched a little bit of USFL this year, and I never bothered to figure out who was calling the games. I was too busy cheering on my New Orleans Breakers.
I bet Kyle's really good at that.
We'll find out. He's going to be on NBC Sports Big Ten coverage of Big Ten football.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, knowledgeable guy.
Which is a new deal here. NBC has now got the Big Ten.
Are you excited about it?
Prime time. They're going to have, I think they're going to start running Saturday night primetime football games on Big Ten.
Saturday night primetime?
On NBC.
Are the Golden Gophers scheduled? Sky Yuma row the boat?
I don't know if they are.
Wapple, anything to say about Mrs. Rudolph, or is Kyle's wife?
She's safe.
She's safe?
Yep.
Don't you hate Perry's wife? What movie? Arthur. What year? 1980.
So the Gophers do have a night game on August 31st against Nebraska at home.
Ooh.
Oh.
That'll be fun.
Golden Gopher football. I dig it.
7 o'clock game. I hope people can find some beer.
That sounds like fun.
Are you guys familiar with another football television personality by the name of Dane Orlovsky?
Former quarterback. Used to play for the Lions.
Yeah. I have a...
Dan Orlovsky.
Pardon me?
I think it's Dan Orlovsky.
Oh, not Dane, it's Dan.
Dan, yeah.
I have vague memories of him playing for the Lions. Right, okay. Now he's working for ESPN. He does something or another. He's another one of these guys who's just overly obsessed with the NFL, and he never stops talking about the NFL. He tweeted out something about his personal hygiene habits that sent people into some kind of a panic on social media. And I guess this is the second time he's dumped out some personal information that's made everybody sick. I remember this. A few months ago, he said he will use a bath towel 30 times before he washes it.
Yeah, we had a whole discussion about that.
Yeah.
I remember talking about that, and I have no problem with that. I probably
he's saving the planet.
Is it an environmental move, Randy?
I think so. Yeah, that's what they do in hotels now. You know, they don't automatically do all those things.
Oh, you scared me for a second. I was thinking that I was
like between
reusing
people?
someone else's. Yeah.
No.
I was like, wait a minute.
No. But I'm talking about. Yeah, that's right. You have no idea who used it before you.
Oh, the guy who stayed here before is pretty hairy.
Nick just follows Britney Spears from hotel to hotel.
Oh my God!
I'll take her room.
You want to make your reservations for like the 1st and not the 30th?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, MJF needs to be on a documentary, doesn't he, Wapple?
MJF and then the Young Bucks do a single person, then a tag team.
There you go. Singles performer and a... Okay, so I don't remember our past conversation about our bath towel beliefs.
I don't remember talking about that.
But I easily use the same towel 30 times before I throw it down the laundry.
Well, I wouldn't say 30. I would say maybe
absolutely.
2 times.
Two? What the hell are you afraid of?
2 to 3, maybe.
What's the problem?
At the most.
Same
no
here.
No problem, but
I mean, you're the
30's a
cleanest
little
you're going to
excessive.
be when you use it, right?
Yeah. It's like a fresh towel, though. I think it's more of that than it is I'm scared of germs or I think it's
Yeah.
gross. It's just something nice about a fresh, fluffy towel.
My issue is
I don't have any of those.
if
I got old ratty towel. What are you saying, Ashley?
If my towel, if I leave the bathroom with the towel, I have to have a new one next time because the dog hair just instantly sticks.
I don't have that problem. I'm a member of the upper echelon of society. I am a cat owner. Do any of you still do the old Porky Pig with the towel when you get fresh out the tube?
Never did, no.
Weep, boop, weep, boop. You know what I'm talking about? Colin?
Yeah.
I think I still do that.
You're
Yeah.
flossing, basically.
Yeah, I do that.
So this Orlovsky said he uses a bath towel 30 times before he washes it. Everybody lost their mind. Now, I'm not sure I understand. Okay, I think I understand this. Now he tweeted something or another about, he said, acceptable amount of days to go without showering in the summer as long as you go in the pool. I say 2 to 3.
Ooh.
I
would say you say longer?
Yeah.
I would say 2 is plenty.
You're not showering, but you're jumping into the swimming pool now and
Not the
again.
same thing as showering.
No, it's not.
No, so much chlorine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I probably wouldn't shower much if I had a pool.
This one didn't create quite the buzz that his first tweet did.
Well, his wife made him take it down.
Yeah, he deleted the tweet.
That's why it's kind of getting some publicity.
Isn't that funny? His wife forced him to take it down. She's had enough of his nonsense. You know who did tweet and call Dan Orlovsky disgusting? My guy Boogs.
Oh, really?
Booger?
Booger McFarland, one of my favorite sports television personalities. He said, "You are truly disgusting."
Dang.
I like that about him.
I like Boogs. I don't know. I mean, I get it. If you got a swimming pool, sure, you're giving yourself a little bit of a rinsey rinse, but
it's not the same.
In the summertime, you might want to throw a bar of soap into the mix.
I don't really like smelling like chlorine.
No,
though.
I'd be taking more showers if I had a pool.
I love that smell.
Right.
Plus, if it's Nick and I going to the pool, I'm covered in his urine. I know he peed in there.
Oh, that's true.
Good point.
He does not go into the pool without peeing in it. He's
He
made
ain't
this
lying.
very clear.
I don't jump into any shower or any pool without taking a squeege. What am I? Am I a cyborg? No, I'm a human being.
Oh my!
I had a great wild ass buddy when we were young, who had a pool. It was Wyzetta. I had plenty of friends who had pools. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Plenty of friends who had pools. This one dude was the most buck wild of them all. And what I didn't understand about this guy is he would always have shoes and socks, and he'd jump in and out of his pool with his shoes and socks on.
Oh, that just made me want to throw up.
And then he was tougher than the average guy, because then he'd just kick back and relax on the couch, or kick back and relax on a patio chair with his soaking wet shoes and socks.
Dude,
stressing me out.
That's my least favorite feeling out
Wet
there.
socks?
Yep.
And they would eventually air dry. I mean, he'd jump into his pool with his shoes and socks on at noon. At 7 p.m., we're out at a party. He's still wearing his shoes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One day I'm at his house, and I questioned this. I said, how can you still be walking around with the... And he takes his shoes and socks off, and there's a perfect layer of dead skin on the bottom of his feet. And he slowly peels it off.
Oh.
You're losing Randy.
And they came away like perfect footprints. It was one of the more fascinating things I'd ever seen. And
That's actually kind of cool.
It was kind of cool, and they tasted funny.
Did they really?
Yes.
Oh my God! What in the...
You got to get them when they're white. Was it yellow?
They were white.
Okay, well, yeah, then it should have been fine.
But I've never, and he just, never changed him. He still
That's
would.
disgusting.
I don't know why.
He never said why he wore him in there?
Just because he was goofy. He just wasn't all there. He never said why, but my assumption is that he was just such a wild kid. He never really focused on anything. So, most of us would would say to ourselves, well, I'm jumping in the pool. Let's take off what's necessary. He just jump in.
And I get crap for wearing a shirt in there. He's wearing shoes and socks.
Well, we can all finally get a good night's sleep because the New York Jets, featuring delusional gas bag Karen Rodgers, have been selected for that Hard Knocks program that you guys can't get enough of.
Never saw that.
I think against their will, but yes.
Oh, yeah, they're not happy
definitely.
about it.
I saw a couple of...
Which may make it interesting TV if they're doing this against their will. I wonder how much they'll actually give away.
They had no choice in it, did they, Randy?
Well, they have no choice, but they certainly have a choice as to what the content looks like, right?
Okay. So you think they might dummy it down a little bit?
They might. Yeah, they might very well,
Just the coach or the GM might say, let's not give too much away?
Yeah, they may not talk as much, or they may not.
We're pissed off that we have to do this. Let's give them nothing. That would be a hell of a power move.
I feel bad just for the regular HBO worker that's be out there and nobody wants them.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with it. They're trying to do their job.
I'm just here to film.
Yeah.
I hold the mic, man. That's all I do.
I saw a couple of funny tweets. One of them said, watching the NFL pretend to grapple with the decision of which team to feature on Hard Knocks this season has been fun. You knew as soon as they got Karen, there was no way they were going to go with the Commanders or the Bears or anything. Another tweet said, poor Aaron Rodgers, he hates media attention. So the Jets will be the team for Hard Knocks. They'll be filmed during their training camp. That is at least according to dangerous NFL stalker maniac Adam Schefter.
And we're not that far away, right? I mean, training camp is like 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Less than 2 weeks away.
Now, you guys been watching this program for years, haven't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I've seen, and then the multiple different facets they've had, the in-season, the regular one, everything.
So you tell me then, Josh, because what I have here in front of me is a famous or infamous quote from Hard Knocks. You tell me, if you can, who made the quote. The quote is, "It doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes, I will beat your ass."
Boy, I don't remember that.
Dan Campbell?
Well,
it sounds like a Dan Campbell.
Good
totally
guess.
does. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think. I'm trying to remember. I know he said something similar.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. He said a lot of stuff that was pretty funny.
It doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes, I will beat your ass.
Can you give me like an idea? Was it recent or is it one of the from years ago? Because I'm going to say it was Dan Campbell.
It says from last year. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That sounds like a quote from a bad wrestling promo.
He had a lot of those. I loved it when he'd get lost in his own metaphors. You could tell he's making it up off the top of his head.
Yep.
You can make it work, though. I'd watch another one with lines for sure.
And then I also liked how they made the rookies do like a talent show once in a while at the end of practices. That was cool.
Sometimes you learn they're really talented, and other times you learn, boy, they have no talent whatsoever outside of football.
It's a good thing they're good at football. Yep.
One ass cheek and 3 toes.
It's kind of interesting. We're just a few weeks away from camp, and Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook, and Leonard Fournette are still free agents.
Yeah, no one cares about running backs anymore.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's kind of like when the NBA started to transform into a three-point league and the centers kind of became obsolete. Now we're looking at the NFL and running backs to some degree.
Yeah, you want Dalvin Cook? People and teams are saying, I don't know, maybe. What about Ezekiel Elliott? I don't know. Different than it was 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to Quarterback with Kirk Cousins on there, the Netflix series. And they were showing some of the tweets, that, like Dana's tweet about the shirt he was wearing, the Nerdy Dad shirt. Mm-hmm. There was one tweet that said something, that Dalvin Cook reminded me, said something effective. When Kirk Cousins hands off to Dalvin Cook, he pats it twice and says, "Yep, that's not going anywhere."
That's brilliant.
Is anyone going out to the Blake Prohl concert?
No, I think I'll wait and watch it on on social media or something.
We talked about this dude a while back. I read an article yesterday that said he's a Vikings football player by day and a singer by night.
I was so just hooked up on football. My dad played football for a while in the league, so when I was growing up, that's what put food on our table, and I wanted to do what my dad did, what my brother did. So I was just hooked up on sports. Like, I didn't really care about music or choir or taking any lessons. Like, it was all just sports. Growing up, it just never kind of crossed paths until late.
He hurt himself. He's a member of the. Is he on the roster? He's a.
Yeah.
This is Ricky Prohl's kid. Right?
Yeah. But he hurt himself, so he hasn't been playing much in the last couple of years. Is that the deal with Blake Prohl?
I think that's the gist.
All right.
I think I should open up for this guy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like, just take away the crowd.
You mean remove them altogether?
Exactly.
Yeah, one way or another.
Scare them away.
That's not exactly my style of music right there, but, go ahead, Blake Prohl. In this article, he talked about how he's got a concert this weekend, Saturday. He's got his first concert at the Fine Line in Minneapolis.
Okay.
He promised, also in this article, he promised that this is the year the Vikings are going to go to the Super Bowl, showing that drugs are still a terrible problem in the music industry. Because the Vikings aren't going to the Super Bowl. You ever seen any great shows at the Fine Line, anybody?
Yeah.
I've been there quite a bit.
I believe a Hooters bikini contest I saw at the Fine Line once.
Oh, that's a second. Josh, has the physical play between you and your wife dropped off a little bit lately?
She's a bit of an older woman.
Because this is the second. Because this is the second time today you've brought up our old days of hosting Hooters bikini contests.
Sometimes the who wants to get more amorous, it changes over the years,
Would you call it maybe the highlight of our broadcasting careers when the two of us hosted the final Hooters bikini final at the Fine Line? What was that, 10, 12, 13, 14 years?
Oh, yeah, even more than that.
This was the most stunning group of girls, and Josh and I are up there hosting it. I was...
You were the spray glue applier to the bikinis, make sure they don't have any... And boy, you were miserable. They didn't want any wardrobe malfunctions.
I'm going to start to cry.
There was a celebrity in the crowd. Maybe he was a judge, and I can't remember who it was now. Was it a former Viking or something?
I think it was I can't think of it.
You know what I'm talking about, though? I'm not mistaken, am I?
Was it Chuck Foreman?
It might have been. It was like a legendary Viking, I thought. And because, so legendary that neither one of us can remember. But I know there was somebody there.
It might have been Chuck Foreman, because I, at a different Hooters bikini event, and everyone's thinking, Jesus, that's all you guys did back in the day?
They were a big sponsor back in the day.
They were.
So we did a lot. We did a lot with them.
We did. They were a great client for
many years. And I went to
years.
high school with the guys that owned it.
We did a lot of Hooters events, and at one point I was also lucky enough to be a judge at not the final, but a preliminary round. I was a judge at Hooters for one of their preliminary bikini contests, and a fellow judge sitting we were elbow to elbow, was Chuck Foreman.
It must have been Chuck Foreman then.
And it was kind of fun sitting next to him, because they'd say, "Here she is, Cassandra." And the gal would start walking down the aisle, and I'd hear Chuck Foreman go, "Oh, hell no." And then the next, "Here she is, Brittany." And Chuck would say, "Damn." I pinched him once. I pinched him to make sure that he wasn't dreaming. All right, so the ESPY Awards happened last night. I never bother with that show anymore. Anybody? The ESPY Awards?
Nope.
I don't know if I've ever watched one. Well, maybe I've watched one.
Well, years ago, the ESPYs. Well, I guess part of the program last night, we learned that LeBron James is not retiring from professional basketball. Not that anybody really thought he was going to.
I don't care how many more points I score or what I can and cannot do on the floor. The real question for me is, can I play without cheating this game? The day I can't give the game everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Lucky for you guys, that day is not today.
It's also very lucky for me because it means I don't have to eat my underwear.
Yep.
What the hell are you talking about?
Is that the last time we'll see LeBron?
There is not a chance in hell, Randy Shea.
I'll eat my underwear if he retires.
Dana will eat his underwear. Oh.
I was really hoping you'd retire just for that reason.
I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah. So no undies for me.
And since we had that discussion about washing clothes and wearing things, that could have been a little bit of a right pair of underwear.
There was never any chance that LeBron James was going to return. And I'm not a LeBron hater by any stretch of the imagination, but it was kind of silly that he, again, hung that mystery out there. I don't know if I'll come back. A little attention seeking.
Like Tom Brady.
Yes. I mean, come on, you guys. You don't get enough love and attention, LeBron James and the lunatic Tom Brady? You have to play these little games. I might not come back. I don't know. You'll have to wait on my answer. Friggin' ridiculous. Mantar has died.
It's too bad.
I'm sorry to say.
Who that is.
Former WWE wrestler Mike Mantar Halleck has died. At only 55 years old, he briefly competed as a character called Mantar in the 90s. And it was not the most fortunate opportunity.
No.
Because he had to dress like a half man, half buffalo, or whatever the hell he was.
Yep. And he mooed at people?
Yes, he did.
That's fun.
Oh, 90s wrestling gimmicks.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them were so awful. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, people give him credit for being a genius. He'll give himself credit for being a genius if you give him enough time. Look back at some of the characters that he approved. Half man, half cow, or whatever this.
Well, and then he had to take off the cow head, the buffalo head, when he wrestled, and then he was just a normal dude. It's like, what?
It was. So I'm very sad to hear that this guy at only 55 years old, Mike Halleck, has died. I also have always felt great sympathy because he had to play that character.
He was on an episode of Young Rock or somebody who played him.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was a foot in the door. I get it. I get it. Everyone has to pay their dues.
Isaac Yankum.
Don't get started, Wapple, because I'm going to get pissed off. I mean, I love it, but I hate it at the same time, having these conversations. Here's the thing about Mantar. At least he wasn't the Shockmaster.
Oh, the Shockmaster.
Who wore a stormtrooper helmet covered in glitter.
The gobbledygooker.
And when he made his grand entrance, he tripped and fell on his face, and the helmet came. Everyone knows the story of the Shockmaster. Oh, my God.
They're trying to make it sound like this guy was just unstoppable and so tough. He just drops.
The Shockmaster had a recorded voice. He would just nod his head, because he had the helmet on. Right. No one could see his face. And then the voice would say, I will destroy you, and things. It was just horrible.
And it was just a stormtrooper helmet all glittered out.
Yes. And you're right. I think Mantar's entrance music, there was a big cow would moo. Yep. And then the music would start. He'd come out.
Yep.
And Vince McMahon would kick back like, well, no one else could have come up with that.
I did it again.
What a friggin'. Rest in peace, Mantar. I once went as Mantar for Halloween a few years ago.
No way.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
I don't know, Randy Shaver.
I just watched the video again when his helmet falls off.
Talking about the Shockmaster?
Yes.
Randy, have you seen the video of the Shockmaster?
I have not.
He tripped and fell. I mean, Ric Flair's standing right there. Who else? It was all the big timers of the day were standing there to try to, give Shockmaster some instant credit.
Okay.
Ric Flair was standing. Yeah, someone tell me who else was there.
I'm looking. Looks like Macho Man. There's like Booker T.
Yeah.
Sting's in there.
Sting. And he falls right on his face in front of all these guys. Randy, you watching it? Tell us when you're watching.
I'm waiting for this commercial here first, and now it's rolling.
Yeah, all right.
All right, Ric Flair's in a suit.
Of course he is. It's a $3,000 suit.
Okay, some cheesy set. It looks like everybody's arguing with each other.
Sounds like the WWE so far.
Is Mr. Perfect in there?
I couldn't tell you who's who.
No.
Is Rick Rude in there?
No.
What about any of the Road Warriors?
It almost looks like Tanaka's in here.
Tanaka? All right. We'll know when it happens because Randy's going to laugh.
Yeah, I'm looking. The
Yeah.
guy just walked onto the stage, and now he's... Okay.
You got Wampo.
What is the helmet? It just looks like it's...
Well, we told you twice. It's a stormtrooper helmet covered in glitter. All right, fair enough. What else is
Just
going on?
bust through the wall. Falls off.
We need to play Randy the audio of what happened at the Savannah Bananas game.
Oh, absolutely.
When,
so
when,
cool.
Tell us,
I
tell us
saw
when
that.
you're done with Shockmaster, and then we can.
Well,
So
he's
nothing's happened. He
still-
hasn't fallen down yet?
No.
He's standing there talking?
Yes.
Well, then you're watching the wrong video. It must be the wrong
It
video.
says the unforgettable debut of the Shockmaster.
Oh, that's what I'm watching.
Well,
too.
then I don't know what's taking so long.
Jump
'cause-
to like 116 if you can.
Yeah, because he falls through that. I don't want to wait on this
Does
anymore.
he fall and then stand up?
Yep. The fireball goes and everything.
The fireball goes. Oh, then he falls. Okay. Now I see. And his helmet falls off. Yes. Okay. That's good. I had missed all that. Okay. First of all, he couldn't get through the wall.
Yeah, he tried to bust through the wall and can't.
Right.
And for old school wrestling fans, you know that Shockmaster, he had a gimmick before Shockmaster, I can't remember if it was before or after. He was also part of the Natural Disasters tag team.
Oh, no way. Which one was he?
Earthquake and Typhoon. He was Typhoon. I believe I'm accurate with that.
Yeah, they did the first.
I think he also was Tugboat.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. And then Natural Disaster was the first team to do the cage match with the 2 rings.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, I can't remember.
But, you know,
what that was
Tugboat
called.
had to come out and go, woo, woo.
Poor guy.
So I don't know, Randy Shaver, the Savannah Bananas, they continue to have nothing but laughs
love this.
in minor league baseball. The other night, they came up with a new rule. I don't know if this is going to count for every game or it just was a special rule for their game the other night.
I love this rule.
Top of the 9th, the Bananas needed one more out to end the game. The batter lines a ball foul. A fan caught it with his glove, and it counted as an out. Game over. The Bananas win the game.
I love it. It's so funny.
Justin Bieber with a barrel, but foul! Caught by a fan, and that's your ball game! A laser beam from Justin Bieber! What a play by that young man! And the Nanners win 5 points to 1! And the entire team going out there to swarm the fan! That is why you bring your club to a ball game! Game ender by the fans! The Bananas win it 5-1! Are you kidding me? Look at our hero tonight!
That's great. Check out the video on our website. So the young guy catches the foul ball, and it counts as an out. As you heard, the Nanners win. He got to jump on the field, and the players are all partying with him like he's been part of the team all year long.
Yeah, that's great. That would be fun to experience that one time. I would love to go to a ball game one time.
Me too. We were talking about that earlier. I'd love to.
They're currently on a world tour.
Yeah, I'm checking it out right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, they'll be in Des Moines and they'll be in Milwaukee.
They're on a world tour.
Yeah, they go on tour. I checked their schedule out too, hoping they'd come here, and it doesn't look like.
And what's kind of cool, what I just learned today, is like minor league teams can challenge the Bananas. So like the Saints or someone could like challenge the Bananas to get them up here and try to play them.
Oh, they
'Cause
should.
So
Otherwise,
this isn't like the Harlem Globetrotters where they just play like a group of schlubs win every game?
It is pretty
Well,
much,
sort
but
of.
then you can kind of request, other teams can request to play them, so
Well,
then they'll kind of go out and then play other
I mean,
teams.
the Saints would stomp their guts out, you know, in no time. This isn't high-level baseball.
It would be a fun.
But it would be fun.
One game for the fans to come see him, though.
Yeah.
It'd be a big deal.
Oh, God. You're damn right about that. Got a text here from Small Pecker from Becker Jesus, and he says simply this. You wrestling fans are weird.
Yeah, we fully admit that.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. All right, we got to get going here shortly, Randy, but I wanted to throw this your way.
Yeah.
Because as everybody knows, you're the degenerate gambler on the program.
Okay.
Do you remember any conversation about this University of Alabama baseball betting scandal?
Kind of.
I think we touched on it once or twice. I didn't get seriously involved.
Was the coach involved in it or
Their
something?
coach, a guy with the name of Brad Bohannon, was fired earlier this year.
Yeah.
Mainly because of his friend's reckless attempt to gamble on a game. And it's no surprise that this effing scam went into the toilet, because this friend of Bohannon's came off like a complete dope. Just ridiculous. The guy his name is Bert Neff. He's also the father.
First of all,
yes,
that in itself is funny. Bert Neff.
Bert Neff. That's the name. Who, by the way, is the father of a University of Cincinnati baseball player. Okay, if that matters at all.
All right.
He triggered alerts regarding suspicious activity when he bet on the April 28th ball game between Alabama and LSU. Now, for starters, this Neff guy tried to place a $100,000 bet on this college baseball game at the BetMGM Sportsbook inside Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. $100,000. The game had no traffic at all. Here comes a guy with $100,000.
That would set off warning signals, yes.
So, the red flags right away from the people taking that. What the hell are you talking about, $100,000?
Right.
It gets worse. He directly told the ticket writers that the reason he wanted to bet $100,000 on the game, he directly told them, I've got inside information.
Jesus.
This guy's like a cartoon character. He can't be real. Hi, I'd like to make a crooked bet that could get some people fired, please. So, also, this is quite interesting. He was texting with the coach Bohannon at the time he made the bet.
Oh, boy.
And using surveillance from the sports book, they were able to zoom in on his phone and see the details of the conversation with the coach.
My gosh.
Isn't that something, Josh?
That's pretty crazy. They'd use that tech on him.
Wow.
A source familiar with the investigation into this scam said it couldn't have been any more reckless. You've got no game face, you've got no poker face to just try to keep this quiet. Number one, $100,000. Number two, he says, I have inside information. What a clown.
Right.
It's unclear if Bohannon himself was wagering on the game, but he was involved.
But he's involved. That's right.
That's one of my favorites of all time.
Before we walk out of here,
yes, Randy.
I just want to say congratulations to Jim Marshall for getting on this list of semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's a ways to go here yet through the seniors and coaches contributors category. But Jim Marshall, I had the honor and the privilege of interviewing Jim on Tuesday this week, a TV interview. I'm doing a story on the Purple People Eaters in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
They're all still alive. They're all in their 80s now. They're no doubt the most recognizable group of football players the Vikings have ever had.
You're talking Marshall, Page, Eller, and Larson?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim doesn't do interviews. Jim is not in the greatest of health. He's 85 years old, but I had the honor of going to his house on Tuesday and interviewing him. He was phenomenal. He was so good talking about those days. But I didn't realize that he was up for this possibility of advancing. And any Viking fan will say, Jim Marshall deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely.
Viking players will say, you don't go 19 seasons without missing a game, collecting 130 sacks, being the captain of a team that went to the Super Bowl 4 times, and not be regarded as a Hall of Fame player.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep our fingers crossed that he gets through this semifinalist group and gets into a position where maybe he can get into the Hall of Fame, which would be phenomenal.
I think I'd cry my eyes out.
I think I would too.
Seeing him up there.
He's just a sweet person, a great guy, and really deserves this opportunity, and I hope it happens for him. So
I'll look forward to seeing that story in the fall, Randy Shaver.
I'll let you know when it's running, because I know you care about those guys too.
It brings back, it's like my childhood being relived all over again.
Nick, I'll give you a sneak preview. I interviewed Gary Larson over Zoom because Gary lives in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
He got super emotional. I mean, cried.
Oh, no.
Talking about the relationship that he's had with these guys over the years. And that's really how these four men, well, you can expand it a little bit. Gary Sutherland, unfortunately, has passed away. Bob Lertzema was part of that group.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just something special about that bond. And again, we talk about the making the Super Bowls in the 70s, and you can talk about Tarkenton and all those guys all you want. It's the Purple People Eaters that really set the stage for the Vikings teams of the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
it'll be a fun story when it's all put together. But I just wanted to say that because I saw this today, and I had a chance to talk with Jim on Tuesday, and I really hope it happens.
That's great. Hey, Randy, do you and I have that bond?
We do. You love old sports guys.
Well, yeah, but do you and I have that? Do we have the bond that like when I get my Marconi Award?
Yes.
And you speak on my behalf.
I would love to be there for
Will you get emotional?
I will be your Sid Hartman to Bud Grant. Yes. I will do the speech that puts you into the hall.
Josh is going to get a double Marconi Award.
Of course he is.
Two-headed. Oh, by the way,
Guys, you and Randy are Eskimo brothers. Randy brings that up all the time.
Well, that is
You'll
true.
always have that.
We'll always have that connection.
That's the tightest bond a couple people could have.
There's no question about that. By the way, someone texted in and said the Savannah Bananas are going to be playing an Iowegian baseball team, and the cheapest ticket right now is $255.
Holy cow.
I believe it.
Somebody else texted in that they were looking at some ones in Wisconsin, $700.
Dude.
Wow.
Lick me sideways.
Left-handed specialist Jesus is a good text. He said, the Saints would crush the Bananas, but the Twins would get shut out by them.
You son of a bitch.
That's not nice.
Probably true.
Talk to you tomorrow, Randy.
See ya.
Our porn star friend Jordan Maxx is next on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Half-Assed Morning Show 93X.
Yeah, here we are, and it is 8:30. Welcome back to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. We have a lovely guest in studio. Our porn star friend is here. She made it through our Independence Day booze cruise a couple of weeks ago, and we hope she had a nice time. Jordan Maxx is in studio. Hello, Jordan.
Hi, guys.
Hey, nice to see you again.
Did you have a good time on the boat ride?
I really did. It was a really good time. I was a little out of my comfort zone. I haven't been on a boat in a few years.
Oh.
But I overcame it, and I had a really good time meeting everyone. Everyone was so kind and so friendly. So thank you so much for that.
Well, like we've mentioned in the past, the last couple boat cruises, everybody asks about you, and they were again this time. So it was nice that you were there, so people get a chance to meet you. We tried to catch up with you a couple times, but it was tough to find people on the boats, from time to time.
Oh, totally.
Jordan Maxx, C. Willie Miles, Josh, all three of yous. Maybe even I'd throw Dana into the mix. I think I saw all of yous when we got on the boat, and then when it was over, and that was it.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
It's a big stinking. It's a big vehicle.
Yeah.
Now, when you say that you kind of had to overcome this or that in order, do you have like a slight fear of water or boats?
No, I just don't like being in like an area that I can't leave.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes perfect
Shader
sense.
said the same thing yesterday.
I see.
When it docks off, you're like, well, I'm here for the next 3 hours officially.
Dana also doesn't like to go places where he can't get off. Speaking of Dana, dude, we forgot to bring this up. You were hammered.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was drunk.
I can't believe
so fun.
I love that you showed up at a work function that hammered. I know it was your birthday.
He's getting pretty comfortable around here.
I guess so. Man, I've never seen you that drunk.
Because the first couple times I didn't really drink much on the booze cruise, because I didn't know really what to expect. But then, yesterday, the last time with the combination of I brought some friends with and my birthday, I got after it a little bit.
Wait, you didn't get after it. You had gotten after it before.
Yeah, Dana, when you walked in and the first conversation we had with each other, and I was just looking at your eyes, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he had.
Okay, this
they
is
were a little
gonna be fun.
glazed over.
You had sea legs on your way onto the boat.
Hey, I will say though, you're a fun drunk.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Super
you
fun
seem to be
drunk.
in a good mood.
I saw you a couple hours before, as you would put it, we docked off.
You can tell I don't get on boats very often.
No.
With the terminology I just used.
You look terrible. And when I've noticed this now, that the 2 times I've seen you drunk, you keep kind of a confused look on your face at all times when you're drunk.
You walk very erect. I don't know what it is. Like you're trying not to fall over or trying to pretend you're sober.
That's a wonderful, how does a grown person say it? Observation, Josh. Yeah, you walk very straight, straight up, erect, like Josh said, and you have a look of a confused child.
You do, and we were heckling you, and I don't know if you just ignored us or what, but at the restaurant, we saw you at the restaurant beforehand, too. We were at the Freight House having dinner before.
Yeah.
And I yelled at you and mentioned how drunk you were, and it kind of seemed like you might have noticed somebody was yelling at you, but I thought, no, he's just too hammered. And then my stepson had mentioned how much Josh Allen sucks as you were wearing your Bills stuff. And that also looked like it might have hurt you a little bit.
Because Josh Allen doesn't suck.
Well, right. He's just trying to bust your balls.
I know.
So do you remember hearing that now?
No, I do. I was just very overwhelmed by everything that was happening.
So you were so blasted.
Yeah, you were hammered. Josh, you were at both of these events, so who was more drunk? Dana on the booze cruise or my mother at my 50th birthday party?
Well, okay. Your mom was awful drunk. And your mom has become your godson's favorite person. He doesn't want to go anywhere unless knowing if your mom's going to be there.
Well, we should set some events up then.
She's so much fun. So I was going to argue with you guys about Dana being a fun drunk. Now, again, I only saw him on the way on the boat. Dana just shuts down. He's a fun, sober guy, but when he's drunk, when I've seen him at least, he is quiet and seems like he's on a different planet.
And the look on your face leads me to believe you're thinking, wait a minute, where am I?
The conversations, me and Dana had a couple longer conversations. And
is that right?
They're fun.
Well,
what kind of a...
the thing is, I think my friends would argue that I'm not like a quiet drunk either, but I think the times that I'm with you guys often, like, it's... Before this event, obviously, I've been like, oh man, I don't want to say anything dumb. I don't want to, I don't want to get in trouble or say something stupid. So I kind of shut down that way.
I always say something dumb or stupid. It's sober.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you shouldn't worry about it.
I don't want to say anything dumb, yet I'll show up wildly intoxicated to a work. It was a lot of fun. What kind of a drunk are you, Jordan Maxx, if you had to categorize it?
I think I'm a pretty fun drunk. I think I'm pretty friendly. I make friends with girls in the bathroom all the time.
Sure. Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
That whole bit.
Did you tie one on a little bit on the boat?
I did. I had a few.
I had a few on
a
accident.
Couple yeah.
What was your poison?
I was drinking Sex on the Beaches.
Oh, nice.
Lord.
Yeah,
Those are great.
I saw that was an option, and I haven't had one since I was about 23. So
yeah, those are great. But the acid reflux, I just can't do it anymore.
Does that include orange juice?
Yeah.
Oh, you're tough then. Isn't it tequila?
It's vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice, and cranberry juice, I believe.
Oh, you must have.
Sometimes people will put some cream in it.
Cream in it, yeah.
You must have a tough digestive system.
It's an International Bartenders Association official cocktail. I'm looking this up right now.
Oh, interesting.
It's the real deal.
Sex on the beach. Well, we're glad you had a good time. We're glad you were able to make it, Jordan.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
And we got another one coming up in September, so their bartenders better get some vodka, orange juice, and peach schnapps. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny. All of a sudden, at one point, I'm wondering if you guys noticed this. So I was on the first level, and everybody starts cheering, like going crazy. And I thought maybe somebody passed out or somebody's doing it or something. And what it was is The boat that shows up to refill and restock the bars.
Yep.
Dude, that
Oh,
was
I
awesome.
saw that. That was so cool.
Was everybody freaking out where you guys were too?
Yeah.
They were looked at as heroes.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Josh, because it wasn't a panic or anything, but someone just casually mentioned to me at one point that we were out of beer. Is that where you're going with? Was it beer that we were out of?
It looked like that's what they were stocking it with. Yeah, I never heard we were out. But.
Someone told me that a dinghy pulled up and dropped off a couple of coolers full of us. So
yeah, and they raced up like something out of Baywatch. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Like they were going to save everyone's life.
Thank you.
And then
Thank
people
you
are
to those.
cheering.
It didn't create too much of a storm where I was hanging out, but we were certainly glad those folks could help out. I mean, what the hell? You run out of beer.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Dana, a couple people are texting in on seeing you drunk, and one guy said you shook his hand like 6 times. Yeah, nice to meet you. I met you 5 previous times, man.
Yeah, trust me, there's a lot of shame and regret.
All right, now we got people texting in saying sex on the beach doesn't include orange juice, it's pineapple juice.
Oh, pineapple, my mistake.
Okay, that's fine.
You always screw up your citruses, and I'm getting tired of it.
Oh, man.
People make them differently.
So here we are with Jordan Maxx on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Here you are, Jordan, in the middle of a career in the adult movie industry.
That's
everything's going well. Anything wildly new or interesting since we last talked in your adult movie career?
Everything is going well.
Good.
No, not really. I was in Los Angeles and Las Vegas last week. I was there over 4th of July. I flew out the day after the cruise, actually. I was supposed to shoot a few scenes out there, but they fell through just because of the holiday week, all of that. So I turned a work trip into a vacation. It was nice. I went to Disneyland.
Oh, sweet.
I saw Fall Out Boy out there.
Oh, yeah.
What
That's your
else?
favorite ever, right?
My favorite ever. I'm going to see him tonight in Somerset. Can't wait.
Forget about the rock star lifestyle. It's the porn star lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, it seems like that's the case, right?
So
are you? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Josh. You had a question?
I was going to ask about the shooting. So, Apple announces they're going to have this VR headset. And
yeah.
we've talked before about all the VR and all the porn you can watch on VR. Are you still watching porn on VR, Nick?
It's been a while.
Has it?
It's been a while, but it certainly is life-altering in every possible way.
How much is that affecting what you're doing? Are you guys getting into it? And same with the spatial audio. Are you doing anything with audio, or is it just kind of status quo for now?
Nothing with spatial audio, but yeah, the VR shoots have definitely ramped up.
So what's different for you? Or is it just the cameras?
It's mostly, the VR. The VR is different because you have this crazy camera rig. Because some shoots we shoot on an iPhone, and some other shoots we'll shoot with a Red Cam. Some other scenes like the VR scenes, the camera rig is massive. It's crazy. I just did a VR scene a few months ago, and it's different in that the woman, the actress, really has to kind of take control. So.
Meaning what exactly?
Sorry. I was thinking of where to go with that next.
I have that problem.
There's just so much. I don't know how much I want to give away, how much of the secret I want to give away. I don't know what's all appropriate to say on the radio.
I understand.
But so the actor has to be completely still and completely silent. So it's very, I get in my head about it.
Sure.
Not getting a reaction is kind of like, am I doing this right?
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, but so the female actress really, really has to go for it. Lots of dirty talk, lots of overacting.
Makes perfect sense.
Lots of movements. Yeah,
Sure.
just because you've got that almost 360-degree camera.
I get it. The guy has to kind of turn into a robot.
Yeah,
A
just
sex
to
robot.
give the viewer at home a more realistic experience.
I'd
I
have
suppose.
trouble with that being quiet.
Yeah.
Do you come up with lines ahead of time? You mentioned you have to do more dirty talk, or is it in the moment type of stuff?
Oh, I definitely do my homework. Dirty talk is not. It's not one of my better skills that I have in my skill set. But so I'll turn on the hub the night before and
Sure.
make some mental notes. Look up dirty talk VR.
Well, yeah,
stuff like that.
You say something ridiculous, you're going to end up on a blooper reel for the rest of your life.
Right, exactly.
Everything's recorded.
Yeah.
So what kind of mainstream movies do you like, Jordan Maxx?
Ooh, what kind of mainstream movies do I like? Well, to absolutely no one's shock and surprise, Pretty Woman is my favorite.
Oh.
It's a classic. I like romantic comedies. I'm like a hopeless romantic at heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. I love, the
It must have
90s
been
classic. Oh, it's so good.
But it's over now.
When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail, that
You've
type
Got
of thing.
Mail. Yeah. Even like some of the teen romantic comedies, Clueless, She's All That, 10 Things I Hate About You. That was
She's All That.
Yes.
Clueless was pretty funny.
I love Clueless.
Isn't that with Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yeah.
She's All That. Yes.
She's All That. All right, this is for everybody now. When's the last time you paused a movie to see a nipple or a pee-pee or something like that? When's the last time you paused a movie? Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual.
Okay. Several years ago, and it was a penis, I wanted to see the Teen Wolf, legendary Teen Wolf end credit, or the very last scene where the guy supposedly, the extra in the stands, had his penis out, because I had heard it, but I'd never seen it.
Sure.
And so I thought, well, it can't be still going on. And it was aired on cable.
Yeah.
I just started watching it on cable. I'm like, I got to rewind it quick before this goes away. I want to see if the penis is there. And it's there.
I watched it a couple months ago on cable, and the friggin' guy's penis is still hanging out.
Yeah, you'd think they'd take it up.
1985, for God's
Right.
sake.
Yeah, no, it's still there.
Paused a movie to see something? Anyone else have an idea, a memory?
I can't think of one.
Happened a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I guess like a couple days ago, I paused it so that I could read like a note that somebody left. I don't know if that counts, but
Oh yeah, I've done stuff like that. Where
Yeah.
you try, or I can't read fast enough when there's words come like in
for
Star
like
Wars or
subtitles?
something.
Oh.
yeah.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They got their heads up their ass.
On 93X.
We're back with Jordan Maxx in studio, our porn star pal, Jordan Maxx. Now, most of us, as we were discussing a few minutes ago, most of us have used the pause button on our televisions once or twice, even way back in the day. I know I paused the VCR to get a better look at some ladies of the 80s, Josh. Whoever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it was.
I think everyone's done that.
Some
Sure.
partially nude character lady in a movie, and I thought for sure if I hit the pause button at the exact right time, I'd get to see a little more.
You know who made a career out of that is Mr. Skin.
Yeah.
Who would point to the exact moment in time in any movie where you could see some nudity.
Man, he pretty much took America by storm for a handful of years. Mr. Skin.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just a guy in your group of friends and they say, "Oh yeah, go to 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 10 seconds, and you'll look for this nipple," you'd think he was a psychopath.
Yep.
But this guy became a millionaire.
So this is for all of yous, every one of yous and all of y'all, including Jordan Maxx. Here are the most paused movie scenes in the history of Hollywood. Fast Times at Ridgemont, by God, woo high.
Sure, that red swimsuit.
Phoebe Cates' character coming smooth out the pool in her red swimsuit. I mean, maybe the most iconic nude scene, at the very least, from the 80s. Right? Does anyone not know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
You must have seen it somewhere.
You're a young person.
somebody referencing it.
Jordan Maxx,
Parody.
the Phoebe Cates, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, I know all about it.
Word.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, unbelievable.
That is for sure.
Basic Instinct. Pardon me?
I was going to say, yeah, the classic leg scene when she's getting interrogated. And
Sharon Stone.
Arrest me for smoking.
Newman from Seinfeld is just dumping sweat down his face.
Oh!
He does that a lot.
He does.
He did that in Jurassic Park, too.
Sharon Stone uncrossing her legs. I remember banging the remote with my thumb to try to pause it at the exact right time when that sumbitch came out on VHS. Yes, absolutely. The Little Mermaid.
What?
Oh.
Do you know what where we're going with this already, Jordan?
The castle? Or no, the preacher during the wedding.
Yeah, he's got a bone ski.
Yep.
That's right.
No way.
What you were talking about was on the VHS cover.
Yep.
One
that's
of
right.
the towers was a penis.
Yes.
All right, I never saw it. So here's what I have in front of me. Yeah, it sounds like you got one of them, according to the article. There were two popular moments in The Little Mermaid from 1989 where people were fingering the pause button. Ariel gets her human legs and you get quite a look, it says here.
Oh.
I don't remember that one.
I
Okay.
don't remember that.
And the other is at the end when a minister appears to have a boner. You mentioned that. All right. The Wizard of Oz, which was released back in 1939. I've heard this little gimmick before. When the crew is heading down the yellow brick road, you see a dark figure in the trees. The official story is that it's a bird, but the long-held theory is that it's actually a Munchkin character who hung themselves.
Dude.
Ooh,
Dark.
I knew about this.
Yeah, I remember
yes,
pausing for that,
I
too.
remember pausing for that. I was a creepy kid. All the creepy stuff.
You would look for the darker, creepy stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I have heard that story before. Another on the list of the most paused movie scenes in the history of Hollywood. Never saw it, Fight Club. And it says here, if you watch this, and some of you are probably thinking, what, Brad Pitt's penis? No. If you watch closely, there are a bunch of one-frame shots of Brad Pitt's character that pop up throughout the movie. They pop up so quickly that it's a challenge to pause it at just the right time. Anyone familiar with that?
Yeah, I've seen people post those online. I've never tried it myself. That was a good movie.
This is cute. From the very first Star Wars, 1977, there's a shot towards the start of the movie where a stormtrooper who's taller than all the rest of them smacks his head on an overhang in the Death Star.
It's pretty funny.
I'd like to see that.
That is funny.
It's good.
Jurassic World from 2015. Never saw it. Pterodactyls are attacking people outside a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville restaurant. If you pause it at right... Do you know what this one is, Jordan?
I do, but I'll let you say it.
If you pause it at the right time, you can see Jimmy Buffett himself getting up from a table while grabbing a couple of drinks. You knew that one?
I did. That was a fun little Easter egg. I have a friend who's obsessed with Margaritaville, like stays at the hotels, stays at the resorts.
Yeah.
So I always got to point that out to him whenever that movie's on TV. I'm like, hey, your best friend's on TV.
I went and saw Jimmy Buffett in concert once. I've never seen so many intoxicated 70-year-olds.
He puts on a party. He knows how to party.
It was but they were dancing there. Flamingo Heads or something they're called?
Parrot Heads.
Parrot Heads?
Yes.
Wild Things, 1998.
I've never seen that one, but I've seen the pool scene.
Oh, it's fun. That's a fun
Who
movie.
hasn't seen the pool scene?
Yeah, and the whole movie's a pretty good time. Matt Dillon's a lot of fun. Bill Murrah, and of course the girls. And that's where people are hitting the pause button when Neve Campbell and Denise Richards are kissing in the pool. Boogie Nights, 1997, when Mark Wahlberg's character Dirk Diggler unleashes his gargantuan rig at the end of the movie.
That thing was huge.
I haven't seen that one either. Is that? But I've heard about it. Is that where he says, I'm a star, I'm a star, or whatever?
Mm-hmm. He's like trying to hype himself up in front of the mirror, and they finally... Because it's referenced, like people see his dong all the time, and they have these huge reactions, and then it's not till the very last scene in the movie that they actually show it.
I like that movie a lot. I liked it from the get-go, but maybe, Jordan, you and I have a little in common. My favorite part, I mean, of course, is naked women all the time, and I dig that, but
Oh, yeah.
my favorite parts of Boogie Nights are that it's really dark and depressing at times, and I enjoy that.
Oh, really? I thought it was supposed to be kind of a comedy. It's not?
No.
Dark comedy. There's
no.
some funny elements to it, but yeah, it's pretty...
It's a drama. It's a dark... And I've mentioned this before. I love a dark, awful ending to a movie. I do. What was that one where the giant lizards were messing with that guy who was the Punisher?
The Mist?
The Mist. I love the end of The Mist.
I hated it. I mean, I see the artistic choice they made.
Everybody's dead, and then 30 seconds later, the cops come around the corner. Oh. All right. Pause movies. Teen Wolf, the penis that Josh was talking about. Titanic, Rose getting her clothes off.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the little French girls.
The Wolf of Wall Street, Margot Robbie on the floor with her skirt, and she opens up the end of this. And
a lot of people text me on that one. Yeah, the Margot Robbie scene.
She's ugly.
Oh, yeah. Everybody says that.
Man, she's tough to look at.
Everybody says how ugly
the
she
blonde
is.
from Wolf of Wall Street? Hideous. I could barely get through the movie, Jordan.
It's awful. Harley Quinn? Never heard of her.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't stand that. I hate all the clothes that she wears as Harley Quinn. She's so covered up. All right. Someone else texted in and said the girl scene from something called Mulholland Drive. Anybody down with that?
Very, very good. Yeah, David Lynch. Very good filmmaker. Very good scene. Very good movie. Very trippy.
Oh, trippy movies.
Yes. I recommend it.
All right.
Cracking skulls, Jesus said in the 1997 remaster of Star Wars. George Lucas put in an audible bonk when that tall stormtrooper hit his head. I'm going to have to look for that.
That's cool.
That's great. Man. Jordan, before we go, let folks know where they can find you.
You can find all my links at jordanmax.com. That's Max with 2 X's.
Outstanding. And thank you again for your time.
Thanks for having me. I always have a great time when I come in.
Yeah, it's fun having you in. Thank you. We have the great honor to introduce the newest member of the Brotherhood, Caleb. Born Tuesday. Congrats to Rice County Bushlight Jesus and his wife. And we get to welcome the newest member of the Sisterhood, Ellie, a.k.a. Baby Bouncer Jesus. Born July 1st. That's from Big Bouncer Jesus. Happy birthday to Hefsky from Snot Rocket Jesus. Double D's Jesus said happy birthday to her best friend, Sammy. And